Hello, Cecilia. Nice to see you again. Of course, calling me late after I've started the stream exactly at 10 p.m. Exactly as I said that I would. Hello, Magdalena's Rex. Hello, Planetary Bombardment. Hello, Neo Repo. Hello, Decato. Hello, Bananas. In fact, let me just check something very quickly because I've had a decent number of subs since. I have no idea if people have been shilling me anywhere, but let me just view my own channel. Yeah, we are now at 928 subscribers, so I've gained a good number of subscribers since, well, the last time I put out a video, which I am really appreciative for. We are now only... yeah, we are only 72 subscribers away from me being able to monetize this channel, or perhaps to be more accurate, attempt to monetize this channel, considering some of the content that I have been rather open about discussing here before. I bought you an ad on... Thank you so much, Arclight. I really do appreciate it. I saw that Fruit... I think Fruit got an ad on... a board recently, which I thought was quite entertaining, although I never really know if those are real ads or somebody is just making up fake ones to troll people. Hello, Nene Love. I can't wait to keep using BMAC so YouTube won't give any money. What is BMAC again? I am terrible with acronyms. Buy me a coffee. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Honestly, if people want to just use stream elements, that's fine. Mostly I want to get monetized because it kind of aids in various analytics and so forth. I might also consider simulcasting to Twitch at some point. I've no idea. I assume that simulcasting requires more bandwidth or whatever. I'm just not entirely certain. Like, it's a strategy that many people have used before, and at this point it's fairly obvious that it gets you a decent amount of extra attention. Hello, Dim the Lamp. Nice to see you. Hello, Haljeb as well. Nice to see you too. I want to also apologize for the fact that is my model animating properly? Is my model correctly... because on my screen OBS, is my model lighting up when I talk, by the way, or is it staying grey? I'm not sure about that. Let me just close off that and then go back in, because it was working on the pre-screen. Oh, there it is. That seems to have fixed it. That seems to have fixed it on my OBS screen. I have no idea why that happened. It just kind of does, very occasionally. I do apologize. I'm having coffee right now. I'm having my specialty creme brulee flavored coffee. It is very, very nice. Yep, there we go. Good and good. Cosplaying British weather. The weather has been very erratic the last few days. It alternates at the moment between absolutely blazing sunshine, like brilliant summer weather, and incredibly unpleasant pouring rain and thick, heavy cloud cover. It's basically a flip of the coin whether a day is going to be beautiful or it's going to be dreadful. Which is very annoying considering that I've really wanted to go out on my garden again, but it's difficult to dedicate time to it when there's so much else. There is so much else taking up my time. Anyway, I was going to say before I got distracted by my model, I do apologize for not streaming on Monday. I was very much sincerely going to. Proctor, why do the timestamps I did for the last weekly not show up? Is the comment hidden? I do not know. YouTube is very opaque when it comes to all of the comment stuff. YouTube just sometimes decides that comments aren't going to be shown to you, and it doesn't give me any feedback or anything like that. I would have to specifically go to my studio. It doesn't tell me when there are comments that need to be manually approved, FYI. There's no alert system or anything like that. I think it has sent me an alert once or twice, but again, it's completely erratic. Unless I very specifically go out of my way to look at it every so often, it just sometimes will not tell me about stuff. So maybe you put a naughty word in there or something, and the system automatically decided that it was shadow banned or whatever. And I just want to note that I have no banned words on my channel. I have no automatic moderation of any kind enabled for my YouTube streams, apart from the absolute minimum that YouTube requires you to have. Like, it'll block certain naughty words and so forth, but that's it. That there is no physical way that I can make YouTube less censor happy than it already is. Zule, comment section, the next thing YouTube decided it's going to hide, like, the dislike button, it would not surprise me at all. Vale, so I'm not crazy, I got confused when you didn't appear. Buffy Graves, I put a thread about multi-streaming in stream material on Discord for you. Let me just have a quick look over there. Stream material. Oh, that's interesting. I will just copy that and stick it in my own private note-taking Discord so that I do not forget about it. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm not going to focus too much on external stuff. I'm going to give myself maybe 10-15 minutes to talk about other stuff, and then I will go into TVA and review, because I've been able to cover about 70 pages worth of stuff using my lovely new system. I did ping people on the Discord about it, where I am slowly growing to love Google Sheets. I am very slowly beginning to open myself to the mystical power of Excel and other spreadsheet formats, because I've been using them a lot recently. I've got one set out for my exercise program. I've got another set out for all of the spoon paintings and stuff that I've been doing, just to keep track of a lot of stuff. It really helps. I am going to now recommend this wholeheartedly to Kirsha as a replacement for her tab system, because, yeah, this is far, far more convenient and far, far more efficient than just having everything on a giant section of, like, Brave tabs. Data wizardry goes crazy. It absolutely does. And again, I'm just barely scratching the surface. And what I've done is, as I was reading through the main thread, all I did was every time I saw a post that I liked, I just copied the link, the URL, and I pasted it into a Google Sheet. And I gave them headers so that I'm able to see what they relate to. For example, I've got a section on Brave Corp. I've got a section on the crazy guy who joined, also TVs, also Project Kawaii, Iron Mouse, Lucid, etc. And I know immediately, I've even got them color-coded. I've got them color-coded, guys, so it's less visually confusing for me. How do I join the Discord? You take the link in, if you go down to the description of this stream, you will see the invite code to the Discord. Hello, Suzu, as well. Nice to see you. Yeah, just go to the description, find the link, and if you copy-paste that into your, you know, where it says that plus button where it says add a server or join a server, if you just paste the number code into it, you don't have to do the https/discord.gg thing at all. If you, yeah, exactly. If you just paste that VYU list of characters into the invite link section of the join the server button on Discord, you can join it. It really irritates me that so many people think you need to have the full HTTPS link for that. No, you don't. You just need the set of numbers and letters. That's all you need to join a server. That's the only part that matters. Like, Discord automatically parses the extra link onto it as well. It so irritates me. It reminds me years ago I had so many problems trying to get people to mod. Like, the moment that Steam took over the modding community, the general literacy on how to install and update mods just went down the toilet, and I have hated everybody since, because the number of times I have gotten aggressively tilted at people when I've tried to get them to play old games, and they've been like, oh, I need to run an exe. Like, what's an exe? And I'm like, how would the actual... How do you not know what a .exe file is, sir? I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it because I can rant on this topic. I can rant on this topic for a long time. Ooh. Tech literacy, Doko. I'm not very tech literate myself. Like, I struggle with an awful lot of stuff. But I do understand certain fundamental things. And at the very least, I understand how to look up the things that I don't understand. Just baffles me how so many people are not only totally ignorant of tech literacy, they are also completely ignorant of how to become tech literate. And they're so scared of everything. And yet half of them will still fall for incredibly basic scams as well. Zuli, you think that's bad? I had to show people at my work how to uninstall apps from their phone. I hate apps on tech products. I hate the whole concept of apps in general. I think of apps as a dirty word. Like on my... I use Windows 10, but I have Windows 10 de-bloated so that it basically has all the telemetry nonsense, Cortana, etc. It's all stripped out by an external script. And I don't use the Microsoft App Store at all. It is EXEs or nothing for me. The only time I'll use apps in any context is like for browsers. That works. That's about it. Big Whale, nice to see you, by the way. Every time it happens, tech bros breathe a sigh of relief, sound in the knowledge that people will be too retarded for automation. I do agree. I mean, the trouble is that, I could go into this for so long. It's just like how tech workers are completely collapsing. And the whole tech industry is teetering on the knife edge, and it's at this point where you can get a degree in tech literacy, the equivalent of like a PhD, and yet there are people out there who don't know how to plug in a monitor cable. Like, that is something that I have legitimately seen before. I have seen people who have gone to prestigious colleges and gotten the equivalent of like a master's in computing or some other related electronic field, and they do not understand how to find the cable of a monitor and plug it in. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. And it's not just me. Other people have had this problem as well. Like, Lewis Rossman has talked about this extensively before, on why supposed, genius bar idiots and so on, they know nothing, and they're not even allowed to repair their own things. Like, tech support nowadays is essentially 95% finding what the company says to run to fix the problem, and then hoping that it's fixed. Because if you don't, yeah, good luck finding source code, good luck finding an actual manual, good luck all of that. It's all closed source nonsense. Meanwhile, in the independent world, you have things like Godot, where the tech bros are just completely and totally infiltrated with all of the rainbow nonsense, and you can't get anything done. All the communities are totally and utterly paused. It's just so depressing. It is so depressing. I want to go back, guys. I really want to go back. Big Whale, Google Foo soon to be replaced by Discord Dive. Oh, don't. Every single time I have gone to try and get some tech support thing on Discord, I've gone to the server, and guess what? Rainbow avatars everywhere and pronoun roles. And I'm just like, why? Why? Muffy Graves, when I was in tech, I was told to Google everything if turning it off and on again didn't work. Honestly, that's how only barely serviceable works for me. Cecilia, I saw the Godot debacle, what a mess. Yep, that's the problem, is that and I knew this as well myself. Multiple people, this was an issue for multiple times when I was doing role-playing. Like, role-playing was a very enjoyable experience for me in general. However, the problem was that all the very good role-players that I knew were very meek and mild-mannered people in real life. They role-played to get away from the stresses of real life, and as a result, whenever they encountered any kind of pressure from an external or manipulative source, they just caved immediately. They would have that attitude of anything for a quiet life. And so there were several programs that I used to use for role-playing which were genuinely very good. And the problem was that you would get a vocal minority within the community that would be like, we hate this, we hate everything, we are going to go to every single server and we're going to complain and we're going to make a mess and we're going to kick up a fuss. Or we're going to spam the DMs of the guy who runs this place and we're going to get them to change the system according to our will and our desires. And it worked every single time. Because all of the people that were in charge of these projects were high level in terms of technical competence, but they had no ability to stand up to anyone in a social situation. And so they would just get bullied into complying. Their attitude was pretty much exactly how the Godot creator is right now, in that he's a tech head. He wants to just code in peace, and to him, the guy shouting in his ear about racists and so on is the person closest to him, so he's just going to listen to that person. You're never going to get anywhere with these people, because they just listen to the loudest person in the room, because they don't care about the rainbows, they don't care about the far right, they don't care about any of this political nonsense. They literally just want to sit in their corner, and they want to code. And the only thing that matters to them is if listening to you will make the noise of normiedom that they hate and don't want to have anything to do with slightly less noisy in their ears. That's it. That's the only concern. Did you see the group that split off of Godot to make their own? Yeah, I've heard of that as well. Magdalenus Rex, did you hear the Dragon Quest debacle? It's put me on the border of Fed boasting with how much I hate the US now. Yes, I have seen that. I'm pretty sure Kirsha is going to talk about it next time she streams, but Kirsha's a little bit indisposed at the moment. But I'm not going to go into that, because I want to focus on TVA at the moment. Vale, far from the first game they have done this too, but the brashness need to go after Dragon Quest. They'll never shut up. They'll never shut up. The only way you can get rid of them is to just have your principles and stand on them. That's the only way to go. And I think we're going to go, actually, for the very first thing, I'm not even going to consult my list, but I want to... Give me just one moment, please. This is something that just happened less than 50 minutes ago exactly, according to the post, is that this is a bit of a sad situation, but I think that I need to use it to kind of make a point about something, because this is something that comes up very often. Hear me, I'm already verbally yabbing. Yes, here we are. This is, let me just tab over. Let's begin. This is Alien Mixture, aka Amano Serafi, who was previously employed by V&U. The short story is that V&U did something to her, and she wanted to graduate, and V&U did their best to make the graduation a very painful and unpleasant progress. They tried to get her to pay an enormous amount of money to them, something like $150,000, I think, because that is how much they claimed they spent on her IP in total. They were doing things like factoring in the advertisement they made for her and so on. So it was a very kind of corporate, nasty thing. And she talked about it a little bit, but not particularly directly, which I understand, and she tried to make a fairly clean break from V&U. However, Alien Mixture, the PL account she rebranded to, has just released this statement, which reads, "I have never been good with words or conveying my feelings, but I will try my best. I am writing this now so that if it does happen, no one is surprised or shocked, and that everyone is aware. Since the beginning of this month, I have been struggling financially to keep myself and my streams afloat. I love what I do so much that I have put so much time and effort into everything that I do for my streams. But the amount of money and time that goes into everything is something I cannot mentally keep up with anymore. I am putting more money into streams than I am making back, and as a person that sees this as a job and a career path, this is not good. I have cried more than I have celebrated. Sleepless nights coming up with new ideas and content, mental exhaustion and panic attacks thinking I am not doing enough. Knowing that if something were to happen to me or a loved one, I cannot cover it. I go on each day trying to make it work the best I can, because I love streaming so much, and that's why this hurts so much to write. Sadly, after this year, if things do not change for me financially with content creation, I will cease all VTubing activities. This is a hard decision to make, and something I have thought long and hard over. At the end of it all, I have to do what is going to be the best for me, and to make sure everyone living under my roof is taken care of and covered, and that even means me. This doesn't mean I have given up. I am still going to be trying my best behind the scenes to give you guys everything I have promised and have planned. All I ask is for your understanding and patience with me during this time as I make adjustments to make this work. Who is this again? I missed a bit. This is Alien Mixture, aka Amano Sarafi from V&U. This is her alternative identity after she graduated from V&U. Azahara, they even tried to get office supplies out of her. Yeah, they basically tried to bill her for every single thing under the sun, that it was all kind of ridiculous. Let me just actually make the chat a tiny bit bigger. There we go. And my opinion on this document, first of all, is this is a wise strategy to go down. It's kind of interesting. Oh, have I got this on top chat again? I'm sorry. This reset every time. This resets when I go live. I had it on live chat beforehand. Give me 1 second. What did I miss? Nendilove saying bullshit. I have no idea what you're saying bullshit about. Biohazard X, she didn't actually pay VNU, did she? I'm pretty sure she didn't. I'm fairly certain she didn't. Vales, I see posts of a similar nature every day. It sucks, but that's just how it is in entertainment. Yes. The tragic reality is that for 95% of all streamers, streaming will not be a profitable lifestyle. You will not be able to maintain a consistent enough income as a streamer for it to replace your day job. There are a few streamers who manage it, and those streamers are much more lucky than they are skillful. You are essentially entering a lotto when you start streaming, and hopefully you'll draw a lucky number, but most of them won't. Hot dogs are plenty. I would say 95% of all artists. If you mean artists in the context of people who create content, whether it be live streaming or art itself, I would agree, basically. Zuli, she didn't, as in pay those bills, as she got a lawyer and they wiped their asses with the bill. Yes, she... Again, I have mixed feelings about this because I would say that Alien Mixture as a whole handled the situation how I would like a great deal more VTubers to handle similar situations. And the tragic reality is that I know of multiple situations that are like this in the industry at the moment. And the people involved are very reluctant to involve the law. And there are multiple reasons for that, and I will try and go into them now. The first major reason is that most of them are young women, and they do not have much experience with contracts, and they do not have much experience with lawyers. There is a reason why they are hired. We know from people like Sayu that companies such as Nichi Sanji do try and, to some extent, hire people who they are fairly certain do not have a full understanding of the situation they are getting themselves into legally. They would prefer mediocre talents who are not a liability to the company than exceptional talents who have the knowledge and the wherewithal to defend themselves and speak out against industry abuses when such abuses do occur. Person, women used to not be able to sign contracts or open bank accounts before the 70s, and I think we should go back to that. Heljeb, Niji also generally goes for people with the spine of a jello. Yep, that is unfortunately the case. And the second reason is also that when you go the lawyer route, you have to acknowledge that you are making a statement not just to your current company, but to the industry as a whole. Going with a lawyer is the nuclear option in the content creator industry because it's an escalation. We see this an awful lot in various different relationships online, especially when it comes to the buying and selling of things. If you operate eBay or operate Amazon regularly, you have probably encountered cases where sellers will even go to the point of giving you free merchandise for you not to leave a negative review and to not invoke the legal right to a refund. I have benefited from that personally. I have been able to get a considerable amount of free stuff at one point because a Chinese seller managed to send me the wrong item, And when I asked for a refund, he was much more prepared to send me double the amount that I had originally asked for, which he did. He did do that, and again, I profited from that, so long as he could avoid the legal implications and results of his own actions. And it's the same in the streamer industry, because for starters, if a lawyer takes a VTuber company to court, then that court case will become precedent for future cases. And on another level, it also signals to the rest of the industry that a talent is willing to back up their words with legal action. The vast majority of VTuber companies out there do not have strong legal departments. I know of 3 VTuber companies at the moment whose legal departments are basically either one guy held on retainer, or it is the CEO making shit up as he goes along. And I know that for a hard fact. So they do not want you to expose their incompetence on a large scale. Now, another problem is that a lot of VTubers face is that if they do defend themselves, then they will automatically get labeled as a drama producer. This is something that Alien Mixture sadly was tarred and feathered with when she spoke out about her treatment with V&U. A large number of people, fortunately because she had such a strong case, it was not too badly held against her, but I would imagine she still had doors closed in her face afterwards. That a lot of people were like, oh, she is just milking this for clout. There is no reason to bring this up. She could have just moved on. She didn't have to pay the money. Why is she still talking about this? She must be doing this just for clout. Because the idea is that if you speak up about the problems in this industry, you will then... the only reason to do this is for clout. But this is demonstrably not the case, because it's a paradox. If you don't speak out about the problems in the industry, you will never see any change. Guardian of the Rune. In lawfare, the process is a punishment in itself. Yes. Azahara-chan, I can assure you she basically has all doors closed to her in the small corposphere. Yes, I can back that up. At this point, originally, I just thought that Kirsha was somebody who was being blacklisted and discriminated against because of her willingness to speak out against people like the Off-Kai staff who attempted to remove her from Off-Kai. However, since then, I have unfortunately learned that this is a fairly common case. It is very regular for streamers who do anything outside of the corporate bubble to be declared problematic and a danger to whatever brand they associate with. And unfortunately, the reality is that if you leave a corporation and you cause bad PR for that corporation during your exit, the people who are going to be most against you are almost certainly going to be your gen mates. You are going to be attacked by the people you used to call your senpais, or even your partners, because they have a monetary incentive to do so. There are some cases of this that I hope to be able to speak about in the next month or two, when the groups associated fall apart, and I will be able to speak more directly about those matters. I cannot at the moment for the sake of those that are actually still involved in this, but shall we say that dead corporations don't start any lawsuits. Haljeb, well, the Niji sisters don't even wait for you to defend yourself before they start telling you to Selen yourself IRL, so they're advanced. Yes, Niji Sanji is the kind of Omega level opponent in all of this, because Niji Sanji has reached a point where if Niji Sanji speaks out against you, then you gain followers. Look at how successful Doki Bird was from how she handled the situation with Niji Sanji. And look at also how successful the ex-Niji Sanji talents still are, and how much they have been able to passively leverage the situations they faced at Niji Sanji for their own careers, which is a good thing. A lot of the Niji sisters still think that, oh no, Niji Sanji did nothing wrong, it's all exploitative and abusive. How dare those people that graduated imply in any way that Niji Sanji isn't a perfect company? But again, no, you have to speak out unless you are going to accept that all of this is just going to happen to you again and again and again. Gigadramon 6, unfortunately, a lot of companies try and follow Nichi-Sanji's model, including character assassination of former talents. Absolutely. Again, I really do wish that I could say what I have heard, but again, even being told the kind of things, it's so weird to me. I know people that like to vent in their private Discords and everything, and act as if that isn't seen outside the Discord, but yeah. There is far too much safe venting in this industry. People saying things that they think is not seen by other people. And it really isn't. And that goes on to affect them in future. And to my mind, it would be better if those people simply spoke up publicly, because when you vent about stuff in private, all that happens is that only one side of the story ever gets out. And if the public doesn't know the full story, they will only ever be able to judge you on what is publicly revealed. And so it is, in my mind at least, better to speak out and have your day in the public eye. And those who don't do this are simply creating rumors and awkwardness and irritation and, well, rats that will follow them throughout their careers. That is my final word on that particular subject. And I'm not even specifically talking about anybody, by the way. I'm just talking in general certain trends that I have seen. And I can understand. I can completely understand the need to vent. My goodness, do I vent to certain people behind the scenes about stuff? You need to vent. But you should never use venting as a substitute of giving away information that you think is only going to be with your friends when you probably know that it's going to be shared elsewhere. Gigadramon 6, I think FaZe Connect might be the only company that is actually trying to follow Cover's model, even to the point where the only former talent will go to bat in Fishman's defense. Vent Amogus. Let me just scroll up in chat for a moment, because I know that I didn't address anything. I hear Nichi-Sanji has a 17-year-old lawyer. World End Dominator, that's an interesting username. It shouldn't be the nuclear option. Talents should go over a contract with a lawyer clause by clause so they understand what each clause means. Yes, I completely agree with this statement. In fact, I am just going to go to my live streaming tab and I'm going to pin that. This is why I have very high hopes for Variance Project, because on their recent Q&A, well, actually, it's a couple of months ago now, on their recent, on their couple of month old Q&A, public Q&A, Variance Project said they encourage and they want talents to have a lawyer present when they do interviews and when they make contracts, which I strongly agree with. If Variance Project turns out to be a success, I will be very interested in what they do next, because I have cautious optimism that Variance Project will set some good standards for the industry going forwards, both in the marketing department and in the legal department. It could still go tits up, unfortunately, because the fact is that as a company, there are some good reasons to have defenseless talents in the legal sense. It's all about the incentive structure of the system, because if I created a company with large amounts of rights for the talents, then I intrinsically have to trust those talents to not abuse the loopholes that having those rights create. Because it's entirely possible, and we have seen this happen before, where incompetent companies have failed to properly secure themselves against eventualities such as the talents simply walking away with all of their assets and their IP, and not the company having no ability to bring them back or to prevent them from doing so. Now, from a consumer perspective, I think that that's a good thing. I want to see corrupt companies getting screwed over by their talents. But the sad reality is that a lot of talents can be pretty conniving as well. I mean, this is an industry populated by young women. They know how to gossip and they know how to backstab. It's the ones that want to be malicious can be exceptionally and incredibly malicious. So there always has to be a balancing act between talent freedom, as Azihara just said, and also corporate having all the rights and all the ability to screw you over whenever they want. Also, I apologize for my creaking chair. Gidramon 6, sometimes even well-managed companies can just fail for reasons outside of their control. That is unfortunately true. Azihara, Pippa has mentioned that FaZe does that with all of their talents. They have a lawyer go clause by clause. Well, that's very good for FaZe, and I appreciate that. Gigadramon 6, isn't that exactly what Lorelei Loch did after the company apparently accused her of embezzling? I very vaguely know about who you're talking about, but I do not recall the full details. If somebody else would like to explain who Lorelei Loch is and what they did, I'd appreciate it, but I'm afraid I don't have any first-hand knowledge of that. Chrome Davis, I hate that talent freedom just makes me think of the case on emote now. Oh, dear. Yes, 1 second, please. Good grief, I really need to get the hinges of this chair oiled. Dim the lamp. I know it's not relevant to the topic, but can you dual stream to Twitch or Rumble next stream? The chat censorship on YouTube is horrendous. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, the trouble is the Twitch chat also has really bad censorship as well. So it's not always going to be helpful. Magdalenus Rex, Sakuna actually knows and loves the medium and is an obvious autist with concrete, absolute thinking, so he's harder and more unwilling to be flexible, aka corrupt, in effing over talents. He's blunt. I mean, please remember that Sakuna is a Chinese businessman. Vale, the Kelpie woman. She lawyered up in the wake of the Project F fallout and came out on top. Yeah, I do somewhat remember that, but Project F was a long time ago, so yeah, I don't remember too many details of it. Dim the lamp, not as horrible as here. Twitch, Hellgem, Twitch chat censorship is worse. Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting views right now. Just give me 1 second. I've just managed to drop something on the floor. Here we go. Ow! Ooh! My legs are really hurting at the moment. It's very moist and humid at the moment, and yeah, my joints and my limbs do not enjoy that. I'm 33. Well, I'm 33 in a couple of months. So I'm afraid I'm hitting that time of my life where my body just begins to progressively dissemble itself. Especially in the wet Irish climate. Chrome Davis just joined the illustrious ranks of cake VTubers. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Dim the lamp, true and real back hurty. Yay, arthritis, welcome to the club. I've always had... Unfortunately, my father has several joint weaknesses. Lumi Angler, I wonder if Akio Air ever sold the old models. Almost tempted to email to see if I get a response. You know what? Maybe you should. I remember they were going to do that, but I have no idea if they ever succeeded. That's not a bad idea, actually. World End Dominator, wait till you sneeze and hurt your back. Haljeb, sleep wrong once, 3 days of back pain and headaches. I am a very, very active sleeper. Igadamon 6, if you're having joint problems, you should consider taking hyaluronic acid supplements. 2,000 milligrams a day helps joint issues from experience. Rin friend, people who vent publicly are super gullible. Haven't ever found someone who I can honestly call trustworthy enough to even call a friend in this community. There is a lot of problems. Fish oil helps from what all the people tell me. I actually do take fish oil tablets. I take fish oil tablets, I take vitamin supplements, and I take one or two other things that I can't quite remember right now. How are the birds? The birds are doing very nice. The birds are doing very nice at the moment. I'll email them soon to ask for prices. Yeah, sure do. Keep me updated on that because I'm very curious. Fish grease. I remember I used to actually Here's the bizarre thing. I used to actually enjoy the taste of fish oil for some reason. Like, they come in these oily tablets that are protected so you don't actually taste them. I used to actually let them dissolve in my mouth when I was a child, and so that I would actually have a mouthful of fish oil. And I don't know why. I still am ambivalent about the taste, but yeah, I've never had a problem with it. Consume the onion. I love onions. I adore onions. I wouldn't eat a massively strong onion. I wouldn't eat like a shallot, which is a very strong onion, but like a mild Spanish onion, yeah, I'd eat that from normally without anything. Drinking the oil from a can of anchovies. I quite like anchovies. If I remember correctly, fish oil is very good for brain development. Well, apparently, because I've been on it pretty much my entire life. I did the same thing with those. Yeah, that's hilarious. Chrome Davis, to be fair, your people invented the eel pie. We did indeed. I've never had eels, actually. I would be curious what eels are like. But do you drink the pickle water? No. The weird things. You're a bit of a freak, you know that? Hello, I'm a VTuber. And you're one to talk, missus, because you're a VTuber as well. In fact, you're worse than me because you have a fully animated model and everything. I'm only a PNG tuber, and I'm only a PNG tuber with just a 3D, with an AI generated PNG as well. So I am still well below the rankings of regular VTubers. All right. Zerstora, be careful consuming fish oil as it contains methyl mercury. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of nasty stuff out there. Pickle water is good for lady time cramps. Well, fortunately, I am a male, so... Just make a Vroid model already, you nerd. I am doing things, okay? I mean, if people seem to forget that I don't even have a mobile phone capable of supporting, like, L2D software. I might be able to use Droid Cam, but I very much doubt it. It's not going to be particularly smooth. Anyway, let me just go to what we are actually doing tonight, because I don't want to yap for too long, because, yeah, I've got so many pages worth of content to go through, and in fact, I'm not even going to start on exactly where we were. Now, where do I want to go? I want to go to links. In fact, I think that we can start back here, because this was a set of tabs that I didn't get to, but it's only 2 of them, so I don't mind it too much. And scroll out just a tiny bit, because this was something that I've ranted about a little bit on stream before. Here we are. You don't need a dedicated mobile device to run a facial capture software. 20 webcam is good enough to start off with. I might look into that. Neo Repo, the problem with Vroid models, you can always tell it was originally Vroid. Indeed, that's the tragedy. Yeah, this was all the way back in September, in the old thread. And this was a discussion that started around, filters. That somebody was posting this, I have no idea who this is, but, yeah, their face looks like that. The Japanese have a thing where they use so many filters on their selfies that, I mean, just look at that. It doesn't matter how pretty you are. The Eye Lamau is appropriate here. That is kind of terrifying. Do you remember the 21st of September? God's strongest Maitu Ryusa. I hate that sticker over the face. Yeah, this is another thing that I find really irritating about Japanese streamers, is that they'll do face reveals like this, but then they will, all Asians, yeah, I agree, all Asians, they're all like this for some reason. Then they'll add this weird sticker thing over just part of the face. And it's like, you're not actually covering up any of your face. You're obscuring less than 20% of your face. This still counts as a face reveal. It was just very slightly obscured, okay? This is still more than enough for somebody to identify. Well, actually, no. It's not enough to identify somebody in the street, because look at those eyes. Like, good grief, look at those eyes. I'd say those eyes have been blown up by the filters by a minimum 30 or 40%. And just look at this. Look at the texture of the skin. There is no texture. This is airbrushed to death. This is not just airbrushed to death. This is airbrushed to death, and then a necromancer came along and resurrected it as a lich, so it could then cast airbrush at level 9 over all photos for the rest of its life. This is absolutely terrifying. It's so bad that it's even obscured like the natural wrinkles of the hand that would be there. It's a fig leaf for decency. Low-res photo plus heavy makeup. She is the necromancer. Zhao my phone, smoothing level 1000. Slimekin slipper became a real woman. Anyway, we have this again. This is Lurker D, and this is a second example. This is where he says, doesn't her Twitter also have videos of her, and she is definitely moving and not a doll? Let's see what this looks like. Okay, why is it only 3 seconds long? That's very weird. Neorepo, if you remember a Kiara stream, she talked about how she loves Purikura, but it always made her look like an alien because the filters always enlarged her eyes. I don't like the way she's looking at me. Nice push-up bra. Yeah, this is just a little bit creepy. And it's depressing because I like how women look without makeup. I much prefer knowing how a woman looks without makeup as opposed to caked on things. Big Whale, the video is like a poorly dubbed kung fu movie, except it's actually native. Azahara-chan, she has the free AI version that only lets you edit the video for 3 seconds. Yeah, that's kind of pathetic, honestly. And this level of sophistry just depresses me because, yeah, you're setting an unrealistic expectation. Watch it, she might get word of this and sick her attorneys on you. That would be quite hilarious. Watch them contact me via the email address I have on the forum that I check maybe once or twice a month, so I don't even know that I'm being sued for at least 30 days. Zerstora, there was a video of her in a Japanese TV show more than a decade ago, and she does not look as good as the current Miki Nico. Lumi Angler, I look like a rat without makeup. Also, I don't wear any because my skin is too sensitive for anything. I think that women can be really, really, well, they can be really pretty without makeup. Muffy Graves, as a woman, if your skin tone is even and blended, she is wearing makeup. Our skin is weird and blotchy too. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I have extremely good skin. I have been truly blessed in that my skin has remained very smooth and supple and soft my entire life. So I'm probably going to look pretty good when I get older, but although my hair is very rapidly going white, it's the stress of running around with you bunch of idiots. Magdalena's Rex, you're autistic, just aggressively slurp at her and she'll have aqua flashbacks. Gigadramon 6, only getting a small amount of attention is one of the worst things for BPD gremlins. They get just enough to keep up the delusions while never hitting rock bottom, so they'll change. You're a man, though. I mean, men need to pay attention to their skin as well. Men have different beauty standards. Yeah, but the trouble is men just tend to ignore skincare and anything like that and then crash hard when they hit about 40 or so. My brother's daughter just turned here. My brother is getting white hair. He is 29. Proctor runs the only asylum on the North Hemisphere. That is unfortunately true. Oh, sorry. I need to stretch for a second. I finished my coffee and have now moved on to water. Now, this ties into... Yes. Now, on the flip side, on the flip side, this has been commented on a couple of times, and normally I wouldn't. I wouldn't comment on this too much, but this was something that was publicly posted, and in fairness to her, she does admit this is a gremlin photograph. I don't know how old Sayu is, but yeah, I mean, in fairness, she does have pretty good skin. She does definitely have pretty good skin. And Gigatomon 6, Sayu took a deliberately unflattering photograph of herself. I do think that Sayu has just a little bit of a complex, honestly, about herself, because she's talked before about kind of how clinically she views her body and various other ways. She's like 35 to 36, yes. And I just think that there's a difference between blasting yourself with makeup or annihilating your natural look with filters, and then there's posting something that is very deliberately unflattering. Like, I think that you can see up here, is that like a hair clip just here? I think it is. So she's holding the hair well outside of her face. And, like, I've got a very tall forehead as well because it holds my massive brain in. I thought she was early 30s rather than mid-30s. Yes, yeah, it's a hair clip. The eyebrows are a bit thin. That's what stands out to me the most. Yes, a lot of women I know pencil the eyebrows in, and I desperately want to tell them to stop, but I would get yelled at. It really annoys me when I see women with penciled-in eyebrows because it looks very embarrassing. Also, I see what you posted, Person. That's that's quite amusing. And of course, as people have said, that this did result in an awful lot of forehead posting. And in fairness to Sayu, she is completely open about this as well. She's not trying to hide what she is. And the reason I bring up Sayu is that she has, as I've said, she has an interesting relationship with her own body and various other things about her. And such as I apologize for being a little bit slow, but I'm still wrangling with this system here, which is yes, that she was brought up again because she did a tier list stream, which is always an interesting thing for VTubers to create. And of course, God damn it, I can't get away from this titmouse. Actually, let me just mute him. Mute Flipsy TV. Thank you. Goodbye, Flipsy TV. You should have done a flip. Oh, good grief, he's annoying. So, yes, she has certainly made her tastes rather clear. And I mean, yes, let me just scroll out a tiny bit so we can actually see this. Yeah. What? Excuse me. Why is sadism? Why does sadism have two? Why does sadism have two different slots here? Also, it always baffles me. It always baffles me why cervical penetration is a kink for women, because as somebody who knows a tiny bit about biology, yeah, the cervix, it's not supposed to go there. It's not supposed to go there, okay? And I don't know why, but the idea of cervical penetration, even as a man, is extremely unpleasant. Like, I don't look at hentai or anything, but if I'm exposed to it, if it involves, like, cervical penetration or anything, that genuinely makes me wince extremely hard. Is this your list? No, it's Sayu's list. It's Sayu's list. Nothing is supposed to go into your Sigmund colon either, but people want to push their limits. It's not meant to be realistic. Yeah, but I'm sorry, I have a very good imagination, all right? And I also tend to have a fairly high degree of physical empathy in terms of, like, if somebody is punched, I will wince. And yeah, for those who do not know, cervical penetration in real life would be incredibly painful because the cervix is a very sensitive part of the anatomy, and it is also incredibly tightly clenched. So actually being able to push something into it requires a tremendous amount of force, and there's also an awful lot of nerves up there, and it's also not an erogenous zone. Like, your cervix is not erogenous in any way. If you're genuinely experiencing pleasure from somebody doing something to the cervix, yeah, I think you have a very serious issue with masochism. Anything else? I love... I love this. Hunter slash prey. Hunter slash prey. That just extremely... I find that extremely amusing. Kink shaming. What if kink shaming is my kink? You mean a VTuber a weird? No way. Yes. I mean, yeah, as somebody else said, it's like, it's really weird because, I mean, somebody said this is vanilla for a woman. I mean, she has the BDSM stuff in A tier as opposed to S. I don't really understand. Like, to me, the logic would be like most of the S stuff is I'm kind of autism braining about this now. I'm kind of autism braining here. Like, the S tier stuff, to me, logically, is something you would always find incredibly pleasurable. A would be you're always up for it. There's no B tier, and I don't really understand that. Why would you have gags in E tier and yet bondage in A tier? That doesn't really make much sense to me. Mind break? What on earth is... Oh, she's got priests slash nuns in S tier. Bro, even I played Prey on a proper computer with a mouse and keyboard, and I'm a Mac. Hellsheb, yeah, it's like 99% hentai stuff because she's Kumbu Kotaku. Sarcastic Madman was the dark skin we went at. Oh god, she has femboys in A tier. And yet she also has DILFs in A tier. This woman is very confusing to me. She likes yapping, I suppose so. Vale, I understand this is more what you like to read and think about as opposed to actually trying. Maybe I'm just a really weird guy, but I don't really want to be exposed to something in an erotic context that I wouldn't actually like to do in real life, because that just seems like taunting myself with an unobtainable standard. I don't know, maybe when I actually get a wife, my opinions will change, but yeah, it's just kind of weird to me. Oh yeah, this is Sayu's tier list. It is... Oh god, she's got pegging in A tier as well. This woman is very confusing to me. Welcome to Sayu. Yes. And again, I'm not trying to kink shame. Like, again, this is just a bit... Just to kind of... I constantly see this, like, blood play, masochism, etc. It really entertains me how... how so many women are into blood play, because... And I'm absolutely certain it's because of menstruation. Hellsheb, that's why you never read the childhood best friend Dochin's friend. As Ihara-chan, I feel like most women like the idea of pegging. I think it's a skill issue for not being born with a PP. That's possible? Nope, she said it was because of vampires. Oh, okay. Hello, Dabbing Taco. Wait, how is it that Nenilove and Dabbing Taco were two different people? Is this... Nenilove, is that your sock? Is that your sock account? But yeah, Sayu is an interesting individual, and I'm not going to be doing a tier list anytime soon, put it that way. Touch Fluffy Tail, hello, nice to see you. She has Orgy and Gangbang on A tier. She probably likes the con after parties. This makes me want to do a tier list so you can judge me. I'd rather not judge people. Sheena Mims. Is it weird that I saw some of this stuff just to see what it was like? Okay. Haljeb Sayu is a very lovable, very weird woman. I mean, I wish her all the best, but, yeah. At least this isn't certain other, tier lists which, yes, which do not do not make me want to examine them in any capacity or make any kind of analysis of the person behind them, aside from saying, yeah, please never contact me again. Magdalenus Rex, best S-tier fetishes, housewife, holding hands, hag, etc. I do agree. Yes, my kink is a long-term relationship with many children, okay? Don't kink shame me. And then let me just grab the next thing, because this, Nenilove will actually enjoy this, me bringing this up, because this is something that he made, which was decent enough for me to put on a thread mark, which is the Brave org chart, everyone. And I will just put the, if anyone would like the link to this, new and improved version, that's for HoloLive, okay. So I will just put this in stream chat as well. Please enjoy. Please use responsibly. Thank you very much. There we go. That's a link to the Brave org chart. Brave Group is very interesting to me because it is becoming very well known in the industry. And well, let's just zoom in a bit. Can I? How far can I zoom in on this? Oh god damn it, that's very annoying. It's one of those things. Open image in new tab. As it says up here, Brave Group parent corporation, holding company for online media and entertainment, previously known as Virtual YouTuber Inc. and Unlimited Inc. And I like how Nenilove went so far as to highlight all the people that have left various corporations that Brave Group has acquired. And Brave Group really is a regular tarantula of a company, because it has legs that are facing in all directions. A lot of these I genuinely don't even know about. It's like And Epoch, Virtual YouTuber Management Company. I have never... Is that actually And Epoch? I think so. And they have Mugen Live, or Mugen Live, Chinese VTubers. They have Unlimited, defunct transferred VTubers and units debuted under Unlimited Inc. before the company's big rebrand in 2020. You have Game Club Project, and then these all-female VTuber group, Game Boo spin-off, group transferred to VV On Inc. when it merged with Brave Group's Create Ring Inc. in 2023. Where is the one that I'm very interested in? They've got Riot Music as well, Starry Resonance, V Espo, V4 Mirai, Idol, of course, which an awful lot of people transferred out of. I know they were also putting a very large amount of money into Idol Group as well. This is something... I don't know if this is public information or not, because I didn't look into it too deeply, but I have been told in private that when Brave Group first acquired a stake in Idol, money began to flow from Brave into Idol pretty much immediately. And Idol was able... A lot of the things that Idol accomplished after the Brave Group partnership was enabled with Brave Group's money. Gigadramon 6, I know it's a real thing, but this chart really reminds me of something you'd see in a Shadowrun book. Look at all the companies that Lofri owns either directly or in secret. Colin474, Idol having so many departures compared to the others is funny. Nenilove, it was a bloody pain to make, that's for sure, I do agree. Planetary Bombardment, are you sharing things given to you in confidence? I mean, this is kind of an irrelevant point. So, well, it's not irrelevant, it's as in, there's no way, this is something, I'm willing to share things that all the involved talents would know about, okay? If somebody speaks to me about a company behind the scenes, and they tell me something in general that every single other talent would know about, and managers would know about, that's the kind of information that is technically public, just not spoken out loud, as in a large enough number of people would know about it that the specific information would not be tracked back to the individual that I am talking to, then I feel there's no real problem with me revealing it. And again, I did get told that I could reveal certain things, which is perfectly fine by me. I try and make it very clear with anybody who talks to me the kind of guidelines as to what I will and will not talk about afterwards, and they have executive control over whether or not I say certain things. That's basically how my system works. Did this talent give you this information over a glass of lemonade? No. No. Holy keck, Jews are cheap. As far as I'm aware, the story of Idle Core is... how would I sum it up? Depressingly mundane, honestly. It's kind of like... there's nothing really that you would call an incredible revelation of everything, because the reality is that Idle was just kind of not particularly well run, and stuff went down behind the scenes, but it wasn't like to the level of, oh, talent A is doing horrible things to talent B. There's no evidence of that, and I say that in general. I've never once heard anybody in Idle kind of say anything specifically negative about anybody else in Idle. I think that from everything that I've heard, the girls in Idle generally had pretty decent relationships with each other. It is because management was bad enough that... yeah, bad management will unify talents together like nothing else. Colin474, I don't know, Avil's actions in Palestine were kind of a big deal. Haljeb, yeah, Avil went in there for those government grants and then didn't know what he was doing tale oldest time. Pretty much. Sad girls cry together. They absolutely do. Let me just have a look through this. Independent joined in 2024. Sundaria, yes. Lit Media. Good grief, I didn't know that Lit Media was a thing as well. Like Shabal Tonya. Isn't it Enya who is the other woman who is... like Loppy? Is it Enya that's Loppy, or is it Shabal? I can't remember. I've never watched either of them. Justice for my N-word, Lisa. I will say this, Brave is a company that I have not really heard anything negative about. All of the people that seem to work in Brave, at the very least, are treated with a level of professionalism. Perhaps that will change, perhaps somebody will have a falling out with management or whatever. Colin474, I still really hope Riro/Kyo drops everything one day, given she was the one who was genuinely character assassinated at the time. I don't believe anything that Idle said about Riro at this point. I don't know how much she has spoken out about it herself, but I will go as far as to say this. The character assassination that Idle performed against her was ridiculous and insane, and she has every right to make fun of it and laugh about it, because she was done very, very dirty, and the whole situation is incredibly stupid. Bananas, you're right, she rebranded to get rid of the children brought by shorts. Oh yes, I remember that as well, Loppy. That she did make it big when the shorts met her, and then said it ruined her community because a whole bunch of children joined. And I think Rin Penrose had a similar problem as well. With Globy as well. The one thing I will say about Brave is that I have seen the Brave people obviously have at least some fairly stringent NDAs or behavioral guidelines attached to them, which I'm not sure how I feel about, because I have seen them interacting with people who have then gone on to make complete fools of themselves publicly and have done really dumb, stupid things, and the Idle people have pretty much been very neutrally positive towards them even after that, which I don't particularly like. Gigadramon6, I have a suspicion it was over money. Idle was seemingly having monetary problems. Pochi Wanmaro left over it, so she just went public with the reason, so they couldn't character assassinate her. I mean, when you say she went public, do you mean like Pochi or do you mean Riro? Zuli, Rin plays a lot of children's games in general, so she can probably keep them. Yeah, Rin Penrose is a very kind of sweet girl. She's about as say-so as it gets, so... NDA, the bane of drama frogs. I mean, honestly, the vast majority of NDAs out there are completely and totally unenforceable, which is another thing that, like, going back to my talk about the start of stream, most NDAs, I know for a fact that 3 out of the 4 NDAs that I am aware of are just completely unenforceable. I know that some people who are under NDA have spoken to me and they've all said, yeah, there's no way this NDA will ever be enforced. The only reason I'm not speaking out in public is because I don't want to be blacklisted. But yeah, the NDA means nothing to me and I don't care about it. And the thing is, a bad NDA damages the whole VTuber community, because if somebody becomes aware of a bad NDA and refuses to abide by it, then that will get other talents who don't have the same legal qualifications questioning their own NDA. And what will eventually happen is that somebody speaks out with thinking their NDA doesn't work, who has not been given the proper advice, and then it'll turn out, oh wait, the NDA does still apply, congratulations, you're being sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Good, have a nice day. And that person is going to get thrown to the wolves, and the entire industry is going to be affected by that, and I don't like it. So yeah, I think that either have no NDA or have an NDA that actually works. Touch fluffy tail, but how long will that professionalism last? All that money must run out sometime with all these groups being bought. I don't know who that... Good grief, I didn't realize that Hare trains exclusively to stream on the on the Irium platform. Oh yes, the great Irium platform. Isn't Irium dying? Isn't it like massively losing views, and it's basically just kind of dissolving? Hare yokai. Nani Love, Brave is burning way more money than they make. I've literally never heard of 90% of these people. Yeah. I very vaguely know of Hime Hana. I very vaguely know about Palette Project. There is something going on here. There is something going on here, and it really annoys me that that's all that I can say. Genuinely, this isn't even a case of, I'm going to say this right now, I have absolutely no sources within Brave whatsoever. Nobody has ever talked to me about anything inside Brave Group, at all, ever. So, I know nothing about what goes on behind closed doors here. But something does not add up. There is no way that this company is buying all of these 2 views, low 3 views, etc. I've no idea what their revenue split is. There's no... And again, Brave Group... where was it? Globy is here somewhere. Where is Globy? Did you add Globy to this? Wait, that's rhubarb and custard. That's... No. Globy's right here. Sorry, I scrolled right past it. Globy bought out the top advertiser slot at V Expo, which I went to in August. The top advertiser spot at V Expo, which was like the whole convention subscription, was a minimum of $10,000. So Brave Group gave $10,000 to V Expo. And as a result, they were able to get a whole bunch of panels and so forth in V Expo. Apart from the Pippa Pebblesworth panel, the Brave panels at V Expo were some of the least attended of the entire exhibition. So Brave just does not really have very much pull in terms of CCV. I would say that if you put all of these content creators together, you might be able to get maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 HoloLive talents. Like the big HoloLive talents, 2 or 3 of the big HoloLive talents probably have more CCV than 2/3 of these companies combined. And they probably have a massive amount of more income as well, because income on one streamer, if you have 10 streamers who all earn a tenth of the income of one big streamer, you're going to get a better revenue split from one big streamer and more opportunities with them than 10 small streamers that only earn 1/10 of their money. Gigadramon 6, Brave has to have some kind of a venture capitalist sugar daddy backing all of this. They have to be playing the long game. I do agree. It is very suspicious to me. Maybe when one or more of these companies collapses, then Big Whale, I try and avoid Brave-sponsored VTubers just because I know it's going to end in tears at some point, similar to Niji debuting too much, buying too many VTubers is a red flag. Truly what a world we live in when a talent named Rhubarb N. Custard can be at the top of a company. Didn't she have to delay her debut as well? And there's also people like Obari Luca and Ibuki Bjorn. Yeah, they have like 1, 2, 3. I think Komayana Ambrose is a guy. Globy is very definitely a company which is going to lose talents very fast because they already had 2 graduations. I would be shocked if any of these male VTubers stick around for very long because, again, they had a constant screen going at VExpo, which was just nothing but Globy streams all the time with meet and greets and everything like that. The male VTubers in Globy made up quite a fair proportion of the screen time of that, and yeah, not many people were lining up for them. And I think it was Vance and Wilhelm who I watched a bit of at their panel, or it could have been Sarugaku. Yeah, they were kind of personality vacuums. They didn't really have any interest at all. I mean, put it this way, my CCV at the moment is 74. I would say that on average, I get 3 times as much CCV as the average male Globy talent. So yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They would honestly be better off just being indies instead of their own schedule. There's no way that they are going to be profitable for the company at any point. You have more CCV than all 3 males combined. Oh, that's funny. Helgeb, how the F has no company figured out the matter of hiring 30 wizards and supreme autists? I mean, that's the problem, is that those kind of people don't tend to be in particularly large supply. I mean, somebody like Pippa and so on, that's a unicorn. You're not going to get many of those. To be fair, you have the Fujo boost to shut up and go kill yourself. What's this back and forth? Gigadramon 6, Sayu didn't sign the NDA anyway, from what she said, but Corpo saw how dirty she got from Niji. They are still trying to get her to Noah, for example, and Sakana has talked to her as well. Gigadramon 6, she did sign the NDA. She didn't sign the non-disparagement agreement. They tried to strong her into signing. California has very strong whistleblower protection laws that shield her. Yes. Colin474, yeah, unfortunately, Pippa's the wrong kind of unicorn. I meant the male meta, and you can certainly find a lot of autistic men. That's true, but the trouble is autistic males tend not to have the kind of charisma that autistic females have. I am being beeped very constantly, so... Goodness me. Oh, damn, sorry, I just need a second to read this, because this might be pretty major. Give me 1 second, guys, because, Oh, let me just ask for more information there, because this could be pretty major. This is not actually nothing to do with VTubers, I'm sorry. It's something to do with Null. Which, you know, considering that we are a Kiwi Farms offshoot, I think that it's a valid thing to talk about when it happens. Colin474, autistic males have a target on their backs for call-out posts too, which reputable corpos probably don't want to have to deal with. That's true, that's true. That is very depressingly true, is that being a male VTuber in this industry is very, very dangerous, which I find completely hilarious, because after being exposed to VTubing for 2 or 3 years, I can tell you for a fact the women will do far more to destroy your career than any of the males will. Like, male VTubers are definitely not the source of major call-out posts in this industry. There are far more female VTubers that have tried to destroy other people in this industry with backstabbing and lies and nonsense like that. There's plenty of male VTuber sex pests out there in like the one view territory who try and groom people on Aspie and so on, but that's it. There's very little else. Dabbing Taco, will Brave buy TVA? Will they also own you and Murray? Let me go back to my links for a second. Yes, because I think we'll go on with the Brave Corpo stuff, because Brave... Oh, wait. Brave doesn't own V4 Mirai, does it? No, V4 Mirai is something completely different, sorry. So actually, I'll shelve that for the moment. This is just a slight error here. Yes, I think this is a better thing to go into, because this is somebody that I know that if Takodachi is still in my, is still in the chat, I'm not sure what time zone he's in. But yeah, this was something that I noted is worthy of talking about, is that this is Rats. Rats is a VTuber that Takodachi has been shilling on the forum for a decent amount of time. And I haven't watched her myself, but she's kind of cute and she's kind of sweet. Brave owns V4 Mirai. Okay, then I will get back to them when Brave does. Is right there in the middle. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at visual processing of that kind. But yeah, poor Rats. She says, I don't know if any of you guys realized that my recent Yoshi's Island stream got striked. I finally got around to watching the segment that they considered hate speech, and it had been one of the tamest moments of the entire stream. Yes, and I will play that for you now. Have I got my audio on? Yes, I do.
Empathy for people, especially people who are like struggling with mental illness, because, you know, sure, you think like being transgender or whatever is stupid, right? But chances are like that person is struggling, and the difference is that they think that this is the solution, this is what's gonna end their suffering, right? And it's not a good solution to me. It doesn't look like a good solution to me. You know, I can't help but wonder what we're even accomplishing sometimes. But I empathize. I empathize. This is the, I mean, I can even recount like experiences when I was a child that like that maybe I thought like, man, I wish I was a boy, or I wish I was like this, because like I didn't understand necessarily like how the world worked yet. Because my parents were pretty like growing up, I wouldn't say they were like super duper like gender roles traditional.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous to get struck for that. As Azahara-chan said, this seems like automod system thing not knowing the context. And Banana said Taka was always had a good eye for talent. Almost everyone he shills has made it big. I mean, her Mike Dennis Rex, I can't believe she's calling for Einsatzgruppen formations to hunt down black trans children. Super Duper mentioned as well. I can't believe that Super Duper did this. Yeah, I think that Rats is kind of cute.
Empathy for people, especially people.
Shut up. Why did it do that when I did that? Yeah, she's Chinese, so, and her also her audio quality is not that good. Like you can
People who are like struggling with mental illness, because, you know, sure, you think like,
yeah, she needs to, maybe Last of the Mohicans needs to slide into her DMs and tell her how to set up her audio properly, but yeah, that's not particularly good audio quality. But I mean, she seems pretty nice overall, and I really hope that she doesn't get any massive consequences from this. But she did also have some other things to say, and hopefully she has not deleted these. Also, give me just 1 second while I clear off so that I don't leak DMs, which somebody has been asking me to. Let me just look at my DMs. It's nothing serious, nothing major. Just very quickly reply to somebody asking me about something. Also, let me just retweet this rather cute Cyclops, who is in my timeline for some strange reason. Right. Oh dear, I apologize, I need to mute for a second. I'm gonna sneeze quite hard. persons of gender bullying actual women, the thing that never happens has happened again. It's all so tiresome, guys. It's all so tiresome. Korean, is she no joke? Chinese, if so, Taco is Z's strongest soldier. Denied sneeze ASMR. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm not going to sneeze on stream, hopefully. Leak the DM, Proctor, devil, chat on your shoulder. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Where is my list again? Yeah, she had a rather amusing reaction to this, which is entertaining, but is also not the best thing that you could possibly do, considering the kind of place that she's showing it. Although at least it's post-Elon Twitter as opposed to pre-Elon Twitter. If people keep trying to censor me, I'm joining the alt-right, spewing conspiracies and threatening the minorities I don't like, all of them, so they can feel what it's actually like to have a target on your back, which, you know, is extremely based, I will admit. It is very based. And there's Lurka word that I can't say on YouTube, said, who is also Hispanic, so he gets the pass. He gets the pass, okay? Silly woman didn't get the memo that vermintide are to never be questioned ever, and they're completely sane individuals who are oppressed by evil heteroids. There's literally a trans genocide. Seriously though, she can't be this dumb. The only place where you can maybe say what she was saying is Twitter, and that cost, what, 4 billion or whatever Elon paid. I think it was like 57 billion or something. She might just get me to kneel. Proctor Dongo Frump tweeted at MS. What? I have absolutely no idea what on earth you just said. 47 billion. Magdalenus Rex, speaking of based, minority, and Chinese, did you hear about Jelly's stream for Dustborn? She was based as F and went on rants about how bad it was, really unrestrained. That's really nice. I did see the thumbnail for it, but I didn't watch it myself. Maybe I will, because Jelly is quite sweet. I remember I watched a fair amount of Jelly's content when she was playing Terraria, because until that point, very few streamers were actually playing Terraria, which is one of the greatest games on Earth. Wait, you're joking. You're joking, person. Let me just have a look. Where did you put it? Where did you put it? What the hell? Is this... Chad, is this real? Chat, is this real? I mean... 91.2 million followers. Yeah, I have a feeling that he's real. It's automated? If it's automated, okay. It's automated, but it's real. Okay. Reply stop to opt out. Oh, I see. Oh, dear. I didn't even know you could automate stuff like that, funnily enough. There are bots on stuff. Sorry, I'm just noticing something right here. I'm noticing, chat. I'm noticing far too much. Good grief. Person, location, doxed max. Oh yeah, it is North Carolina. I don't think he particularly cares. I mean, to me, being like having your state doxed is a bit like having your country doxed. Most countries and most states in the USA are literally larger than most European countries, so I'm from New York. Oh, I see. I really do genuinely feel very sorry for you. Trump gets away with a lot on Twitter, and I think that's how Elon got him back. Yeah, that's possible. I wish this was AI. No, it's real, apparently, somehow. I'm just looking at the updates here that somebody sent me. Okay, so we'll move on to Ratz's, oh yeah, this was very interesting as well. Because this spawned a whole kind of conversation about... Yeah, I'll just scroll up a bit. So this is the original tweet, which I just talked about. And then quite a few people began talking about suicide, because it is a topic that we, as former members of the New Zealand farming community, are well aware has a fairly significant impact on the universe. And here we have Nevion, who I will also speak about soon. And please check your receipts had some very interesting commentary. Where was his original comment? Yes, Egg the Boiled said she didn't even imply that every trans person in the universe is ill, just that some might be and transitioning won't solve their problems. I'm not anti-trans like a lot of people here, but even to me that seems like a reasonable take. And then please check your receipts replied with, it's backed up by their own research. While I don't believe dysphoria actually exists, surgery solves nothing about it. The people are suicidal and have deep endocrine dysfunction, so the classic medical way of solving the problem is charging someone a lot of money for surgeries they don't need, which is a take that I would generally agree with. And he comments about this down here too. God's Strongest Build-A-Bear replied, it works fine as in the endocrine system, and the most of the people that become trans don't have any issues with hormones before hormone replacement therapy. Dig deeper. Sorry, let me have a drink of water so I don't sneeze again. To which please check your receipts replied, they're suicidal first, which means dysregulation in the non-sex hormone HPA axis. Acute suicidal issues are in the PTSD category for overwhelmed stress response. This is also why pumping them full of sex hormones solves nothing and just makes everything worse. It's more akin to giving someone a hip surgery when they have a broken foot and then wondering why they can't walk properly. It's a topic more akin to school shooters, where that's actually a murder-suicide, because that's the only way they can overcome their self-non-deletion instinct. And we're only having this discussion, but a billionaire heir had a midlife crisis and has inflicted it on the rest of the world. Sadly, not a joke. I think I know what he's referencing there. And he continues here, which I found so interesting I actually sent it to someone that I know, and they gave their take on it, and they said, yeah, this is quite interesting. I looked at this, this kind of sounds insane, but I have legitimately done some research into this, and he's not talking out of his ass here. Suicide is primarily a disorder of cortisol regulation and the inability for the mind to remove a negative thought. What causes suicide in most cases is actually the thought itself stuck in a person's mind. Think autistic fixation on trying to end yourself. As the cycles go through, the stress response increases. As much as it seems cliched, in a lot of cases it is actually a cry for help. The problem with the discussion about the topic is that suicides are common enough that they're also a pretty negative emotional trigger for any audience. This leads to only the most pathologically insidious or mealy-mouthed discussing the issue normally, which is an issue as every society has a completely predictable suicide rate. It's actually quite stable in societies, which is why, when it does change, you need to start asking a lot of questions. This is where it gets interesting. The introduction of cereal grains has killed off a massive amount of older generations in a society when it's introduced. That's how you end up down the chain of cortisol regulation. The talk about South Korea's suicide rate always misses that it's those over 60 killing themselves at an insane rate. High-protein grains, when you never grew up with them, will drive people pretty crazy, and suicide is just one of the outlets. It's why, if you have a person in your life that you know is struggling, getting them out with physical activity and removing all carbs from their diet for a month will generally address the issue, though there's bound to be a lot of other damage that needs to be addressed, but that's generally a very important part of the triage. Low stress, low carbs. Always fear being in the eye of the trendy medical establishment view. They'll completely ruin you and be happy about it. And yeah, after I read this, I actually contacted somebody I know who has a level of psychological knowledge, and I also did some personal research. he's not barking up the wrong tree here. He's actually saying stuff that an awful lot of people have said, including quite a lot of medical doctors, psychologists, and there's even been some proper research done on it, which the conclusions are basically, yeah, people who have a low-carb diet generally are less likely to commit suicide than those who have a high-carb diet. I can actually put some sources for that in the Discord later on, because I didn't save them after I looked them up. They're in my history, though. I do apologize for that, but I did find it really fascinating. Robert Kennedy is right. RFK Jr. RFK Jr. is right on a number of things. And yeah, a lot of people noticed that RFK Jr., as soon as he started being proven right about stuff, the media just kind of stopped talking about him. It was all fine when he was the epic conspiracy theorist that didn't have any evidence. The moment he started getting evidence, oh, suddenly nobody talks about him any longer. It's really strange. Hell, Jeb, be a happy fat guy, not a Wings of Redemption fat guy. I mean, just from my own personal experience, I find it fascinating how I can choose to be on a diet that's fairly high in meat and vegetables, or I can choose to be on a diet that's fairly high in carbohydrate. I noticed that my diet, my mood improved tremendously during COVID, and I'm fairly certain it is because before COVID, I was regularly going to town and I was buying things like sweet treats, I was buying things like snacks, I was buying more things like corn chips, I was buying like deli sandwiches and so on. My diet was fairly high in carbohydrates. When COVID hit, my diet changed dramatically and it became much more focused on meat and vegetables. And oh my goodness, the way that my mood and my health improved is amazing. Before COVID, I wouldn't be able to go a single week without at least one bad stomachache. I would constantly be waking up in the morning and feeling dreadful. And after COVID, after my diet improved, my health just became tremendously better. There's no way I could ever have exercised the way I do now on my previous diet. And let me just emphasize as well, my diet was not even all that bad back before COVID. I didn't drink any soda whatsoever. I never had takeaway. All that I had was like maybe a bag of crisps, or as the Americans say, chips. All I had was one bag of chips every day on average, and I would occasionally have things like deli sandwiches and so forth. And just cutting those out of my diet and going to fresh food, oh, the improvement in my mood, the improvement in my energy levels, the improvement in my other aspects of my life was amazing. I would challenge anyone to cut out processed foods for 1 month and come back and not tell me that their health has improved by a minimum of 50 to 60%. Just try it. Trust me, you will not regret it at all. Magdalenus Rex, God gives intuition to man. Wise people use it better. Wisdom comes from humility. Modern doctors aren't humble. Neither are their sycophants. They allow this insidious shit. I mean, considering that just today the BBC was talking about a doctor who was routinely operating on patients with his penknife as opposed to a surgical scalpel because he couldn't be asked to get a actual scalpel. Yeah, I don't have particularly high opinions of licensed practitioners at the moment. Dim the Lamp, I lost 10 kilograms by eating meat and veg and drinking Sprite Zero. Gigadramon 6, I bought a 20-pound white ribeye, good steaks for a long time. That's a pretty good idea. That can't be sanitary. Yep. No, it wasn't sanitary. 3 people died. He killed 3 people doing that, and yet he was still employed. It only just hit the news. He did surgeries on 3 people, the surgeries that normally had a 1% fatality rate, and all 3 of them died. Bro thought he was House. Where's my nonsense again? Yeah, I mentioned this Nevio guy before. He was somebody who joined the forum, and he's one of the very few users who is now banned. because this was his very first post, which was on the Fruit Saga, where the ex-husband, people were kind of saying the ex-husband was a little bit based by the way that he was talking to Fruit, and I don't really agree with that. He's definitely a piece of shit. But at the same time, he does have fairly stereotypical army man opinions on the LGBTQ things. And for some reason, Nevion joined, and his first response was, I do feel like the immense hate towards her is a bit much. It's like she killed someone, when in reality she cheated on her husband and didn't comment on a charity she wanted to make, plus the comment in Silver's chat. I would buy porn of her because she's exactly my type, but other than her simps wanting degradation, I would F the living shit out of her or watch her being humiliated. Which, is definitely... That's definitely a first post. It is one of all the first posts that have ever been made on this forum, this is certainly one of them. Is that knocked? No, it is not knocked, unfortunately. This dude is an F-slur. I thought you had to approve first posts. I mean, yeah, but I approve first posts based on in case somebody is going to, like, leak some stuff or whatever. Whereas, like, there was no reason to not approve this. Because, I mean, look what happened. It's hilarious. Why would you not approve this? Yeah, exactly, hot dogs are plenty. Why would I not approve this? I'm not going to actively prevent people from posting in order to humiliate themselves, guys. Yeah, he also had this commentary as well, where this was Restless Rain. Remember when Fruit threw her genmate Silvervale under the bus? One of the problems with modern society is that we decided to give whores money instead of publicly ridiculing them and treating them like lepers. To which he had the insightful commentary, yeah, I mentioned it in the same comment, and the concept of giving whores money is hundreds, if not thousands of years old. That's where the phrase sex sells comes from, so I think we can all consider ourselves appropriately educated by this genius poster who went on to make many more extremely effective contributions to the thread. Don't know who you mean, and don't know where you got cuck fetish from, but I don't expect much on a board like this. But just so you know, I couldn't care less who this person is or what you think about me. Nice PFP, though. Somebody said you sound an awful lot like Mealy Tourist. And, yes, JJ responded by calling him out, as he absolutely should have done. Johnny Jambalaya says, it may be best to find another website to post on if you plan on melting down over being called out on your weird posts. That, or you could stop making them in the first place. And then, indeed, other people started to call him out as well, such as Nenilove. My guy, I have refrained from replying to you because I have more important things to read due to today's events, but for the love of God, learn to not take shit personally and stop replying to every post like you get paid for it. You had a retarded take, people made fun of you, just learn to roll with the punches. And, after a while, we just decided in the admin chat, yeah, this guy is better to be banned. He is German, by the way, his IP is uncensored and pings directly from Germany, so, yeah. Hayabusa 9x9, hey guys, I am new here. Here is a list of VTubers I feel need correction. Dim the Lamp, are you sure it's not Noct with a new account? I mean, if Noct has ever been revealed as being German, maybe. But Noct thinks that Fruit is his wife, so I don't think that Noct would be like talking about having a cuckold fetish with Fruit. He's not really that kind of way, I think. Helgem, Sodom and Gomorrah was actually, like, based, guys. You just don't get it. Touch Fluffy Tail, German, my god, the reincarnation of Nolan. We're coming up for 2 hours now, guys, so I'm just going to take a break for 1 second to go and relieve myself. Please give me a moment. I'll be right back. have questionable things I've noticed in that part. What do you mean? How long is it going to take him to figure it out? What? I actually do have some assets in production, so we will see how those go in future. Yes, we will be seeing about a BRB screen at some point in the future. It's just, I don't know. His BRB screen should be one of his birds being derpy. That would be quite cute. That would be quite cute. I definitely have enough footage of my birds being derpy. Oh, I just wanted to clarify that the Noct guy is not Fruit's IRL husband. Noct is an insane Fruit stan and Fruit defender who pretends to be her husband, and not as in her real-life husband. He's one of those fans who says, oh, I'm married to her, she's my perfect, waifu, and my amazing, wonderful Kamiyoshi. But he's not actually in any kind of relationship with Fruit at all, and I'm pretty sure Fruit has never acknowledged him ever. Who thought that, though? I'm just saying it for posterity, just in case somebody gets confused, because, again, I did say he calls himself her husband, and Fruit has been married in the past, so I didn't want people to be confused by it and, take away misinformation. Delusional, the term is delusional. He is very delusional. Average Fruit fan, yes. The average Fruit fly. Fruit really missed a trick when she didn't call her fans flies. That's what Fruit's fans should be. They should be Fruit flies. It's so natural. My DM's been blown out again. What am I doing now? Yes, the next big thing that I wanted to talk about was quite an interesting incident, and that was the TwitchCon incidences, where Mythos has gotten into quite a bit of hot water, because it all started when Hades of Mythos said, I think I was drugged at the bar. And it's quite interesting that Eatum and Breedom had this reply included, where Winter, aka trans flag, whatever, communist flag, said, yeah, I heard multiple people got roofied at a VTuber party at the Marriott. Nemesis. Please be careful if it's the party I'm thinking about. There are people saying there may have been people drugging a lot of drinks. Stay safe, and if you feel the need to get checked, do so. And yeah, people were very quick to notice the nature of this guy's profile. A little birdie told me this person is no stranger to roofies and drinks. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. There's a lot of extra additional details that we can go through on this. I particularly liked Kuririnji's contribution as well, where he said, that's a terrible tradition to have at a convention. KT, this is from 2019, and this was one of the Twitch things. So last night I got roofied. Toxins came back with benzodiazepam in my system, which combined with alcohol could have meant death. Thankfully my friends were there for me and saved my life. I don't think I'll be around for the rest of TwitchCon, hope you understand. So TwitchCon has been having issues with roofies for many years at this point. That would be, 5 or 6 years. Zuli, well, Proctor, just because you said that, and I was curious as to what the hell her fan name is. They are called fruitcakes. That is just as accurate. Dim the lamp. I remember Noct saying he wouldn't bother people anymore as a promise to Fruit. He couldn't do it for even a week. Yes, as Biohazard Xer has just said that it's interesting that it's Hades that claims to have been roofied, because yeah, Hades does not have the best reputation because of certain past life instances. Because as Reinigan says, she used to be Hylo from, was it Sundaria? I think, or was it Cyberlive? I forget. Was Hylo Cyberlive or Sundaria? Apollo Mythos says, guys, she's okay right now. She's safe with me and our friends. We're fine and together. Please be careful and stay safe. Then she updated later, we're both resting now. We're both resting up again. She's safe with me and Clotho and our friends. We both got a little nauseous, but we're hydrating right now. Please never take your eyes off your drink. Stay together and close. Good night, everyone, and thank you for checking up on us, too. And later on, Hades gave another update to this whole incident. An update. I am awake now. We don't know what actually happened to me last night other than it just wasn't okay. I was in no state to go to the hospital as I don't have insurance. Let me just open this fully in Twitter because it's not all there. Why am I getting another DM? And so I did not receive any tests to see if I had something in my system. We only suspect my drink may have been spiked due to how sick and horrible and drunk I felt after only 2 drinks, even 3 or 4 hours out from leaving the bar. I felt very wrong and overall not okay. I was in a terrible headspace and honestly should not have been tweeting, and I apologize to anyone I may have worried. Thankfully, my friends took care of me, so I am safe no matter what caused me to feel that way. Where was the next bit? It was here somewhere. Insure. Yes. What? Why isn't that actually sending me anywhere? That's annoying. Oh well. Yeah, people were calling her out on not having insurance, and also other people were pointing out that Hilo has just a few issues in the past. See, this is HTTN. See, this is where being a generally untrustworthy person comes back to bite you in the ass. If this was anyone else, I would be concerned, but this is Hilo, so I instantly assume it is more bullshit. The medic Sisyphus says here, roofies are a polite lie to explain the effects 4 consecutive tequila shots have on women. I think someone put something in my drink. Yeah, it was the bartender. He put alcohol in your drink when you ordered alcohol. The king-ism, so Hades thought she was roofied and just got white girl drunk. Colin 474, I can't believe Pierce Brosnan did this. Gigadramon 6, if I remember correctly, she was the one who made a big deal over Lumi losing her model, using her model on stream for like 30 seconds. Din the Lamp, is there a problem with my YouTube tab? There are only 9 likes on the stream. I'm pretty sure not many people like the stream while it's live. I've never really even seen much of the point of people liking the stream while it's live. Like, likes are more like a VOD thing. And as everybody is kind of commenting in the chat, yeah, Hilo is known for not exactly being the daintiest and most delicate of individuals. It's showing 20 for me. Let me have a look, actually, because YouTube is very, very bad at all of this stuff. Yeah, my like counter, it just went from 17 to 22 in the moment that I tabbed back. So I see 5. Yeah, it's not going to make any sense. As Ihara-chan, I believe Hilo, given how many others apparently also got roofied, and given how in the past it has also happened because welcome to TwitchCon. Hilo is a tard. She got mad people took one of her posts negatively. Yes, Hilo is well known for being something of a drama queen in this industry. And speaking of people that I do not have any particular fondness for due to their lack of direct trustworthiness, this is Nyaru. I'm starting to believe you can't socially survive TwitchCon without drinking. Is that really the only way people talk and network there? I avoid TwitchCon in fear of social rejection for not wanting to drink or do drugs. Oh, that's so nice of Nyaru, isn't it? She's really showing how above it all she is, and how she would never ever get involved in any kind of weird goings-on at a convention, and in no way at all would ever kind of try and take advantage of anybody for clout or anything else in any kind of convention-related manner, ever. That's just not something she would ever do. And Rinfriend said, if it is really like this, then it's so disgusting that I agree on Nyaru with everything here. Never been to a con before, so I wouldn't actually know. I believe there was some other conversations about this as well. Cesara said, with the starting baseline is a crowd of people too socially anxious, introverted, and autistic to socially interact without being wasted in some form. It's not a good scene. Add in the various creeps, sex pests, and other suspect individuals, and I don't blame her. Guild Mage Troy, there's always something happening at these large US conventions. You need to practice caution and basic situational awareness, especially in the PM. What do you mean by PM? What does PM stand for? I brought this up to legal mindset, but God, women need to remember to check the alcohol warnings on their medications. That's actually a fairly decent way to look at it, because... What? People are saying PM, especially in the Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Muffy Graves, they're asking these people to have situational awareness is like pulling teeth with tweezers. Gigadramon 6, yeah, a lot of medications can make alcohol much stronger. Like if you take Wellburton, alcohol is going to hit you like a bus. Post-Meridian, the same Meridian your people invented to gauge time. Yeah, that's actually a very good point, because the number of VTubers out there who are on some kind of stress medication or on antidepressants, which you should not mix with alcohol under any circumstances, is just kind of depressing and absurd. And yeah, if you are on any of those medications and you take strong amounts of alcohol, you are going to get hit very, very, very strongly. Antidepressants make it much worse. Yes, there is a reason you're not supposed to take any... A lot of people are just so stupid. They're like, oh, no, it's just once off. Like, you're only supposed to avoid alcohol if you're like an alcoholic. You're not supposed to do it when... You're only supposed to, like, not drink on an ongoing basis, but this is TwitchCon. This is a special occasion. It's perfectly okay. It's all right. Okay, it's just a one-off. It's not going to affect me. NyQuil and vodka is a Saturday night. It's my Saturday night. Oh, goodness. I really hope you don't do that too often. Dim the lamp, most VTuber girls are sad girls. Yeah, oh, dear. The number of VTubers that are on stuff is just really, really upsetting. Magdalena's Rex, proud to be in the alcohol taste like fermented piss gang. I find beer to be completely revolting. I cannot allow beer, lager, or anything else to pass my lips. It immediately makes me gag, and I find it disgusting. I quite enjoy straight vodka. That's pretty nice. I also enjoy whiskey. That's delicious. Basically, if it's a spirit... or if it's a fairly sweet wine. I find mead to be delightful. I adore mead. And I also enjoy port. Like a ruby port is really, really nice. I really like a good ruby port. That's delicious. You can generally have one drink if you take those meds, but it's a run it by the doctor thing. As if any of them... as if any of them... I would ever go to a doctor about this. Gigademon, yeah, if you can have one... yeah, I already read that, but like one glass of wine is going to hit you like an entire bottle. A good whiskey is always nice. Lumi Angler, also, like, if someone says they were drugged and didn't get tested, I'm going to assume they got effed up because of their meds, or knows candy / illegal meds and doesn't want to admit it and have it flagged. He likes sweet girls' drinks. Yeah, I like sweet alcohol. I don't like, I hate dry wine. My parents both love the driest wine possible. Like, so dry, it could be the desert. I find all dry wines disgusting. I much prefer sweet wines, and I like cider, too. Cider is lovely. Have you tried sour beer? I have not. I have never tried that. Barbar is mead-like? I have never heard of Barbar before. I have tried Drambuie before. A friend of mine got me a small bottle of very expensive Drambuie once. Whoa! Good grief, that was delicious. That was absolutely lovely. It's well beyond my price range, but if I could buy or if I could get access to Drambuie again, I would definitely drink that. Goodness me, that was absolutely delicious. Have you enjoyed yourself some Perry? I have not. Anybody who's talking about alcohol in my chat should be aware that I generally do not drink overall. I was at a party 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago now. And the guy who ran that also runs a whiskey distillery, and he had made up a punch with, I think it was 1/3 whiskey to 2/3 like fruit and other stuff like that. Oh wow, that was good. Oh, that was so delicious. I had 2 glasses of that, and yeah, that put me in a rather interesting place. I'm glad that I was not driving that night, because oh, that was good. That jungle juice, yeah, oh, that was seriously good. Whiskey mixed with large amounts of like fruit, like squeezed fruit juices, all that kind of, I think it's just called like, is that what punch is? Literally just like squeezed fruit and so on, but stuff like that. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. That's delicious. Homemade mead is so good. I should make mead at some point. I love mead. I'm like, mead is one of my favorite drinks of all. Like the strong honey tasting mead. That's so good. Yeah, that sounds like jungle juice. I will have to look into jungle juice again, because yeah, that was so good. That was really good. Guildmage Troy, social awareness seems to state otherwise. The amount of 30-year-old women who don't know how to watch their drink or know how it reacts with meds is concerning. Lumi Angler should get you some apple pie moonshine. I've never heard of apple pie moonshine, but I mean, it sounds good. I mean, I like apple pie, so if apple pie whiskey is a thing, I'm not going to complain. But let us move on, because there was another vague post that will round out this particular incident. Tonight, I don't know how to feel. Something that was eating me up for so long is now known, made me tear up. It was discomfort, disgust, but a weight lifted too. Sadly, it's power that I don't know if I can take back for myself. That's something I don't know when I'll get back. Okay. Alright. Oh wait, I know this one too. That's funny. I had this on the general thing as well. This is Kana Yanagi of Pixel Link, who is a former member of V Reverie, and as you can see, in 174 uploads, she has now reached 25,000 subscribers. This was the same as she got in V Reverie, with more than double that number of uploads. And she is about the same video views as well. So this definitely goes to show that leaving V Reverie is a career boost. The only tragic part of it is that I thought that Erika Byako's model was absolute pure concentrated sex. So I'm very sad that she traded it in. She had to trade it in for this Kana Yanagi model, which I think is unfortunately just a lot more generic. But that's really kind of sad. Is Pixel Link also Brave Group? No, Pixel Link isn't Brave. Yeah, thank you. V Reverie models were top tier. Yeah, because it's a company run by Singaporean gacha addicts. When V Reverie dies, I am definitely going to do a post-mortem stream about V Reverie. Not brave yet, Gigademon6. I wish more companies would give their talents the option to buy out their IPs instead of scuttling it. This is something that I do have some inside information on. A lot of companies, when they are going under, do in fact try to sell the IP to the talent. The problem is that when they sell the IP, they factor in things such as the cost of merchandise, they factor in the cost of advertising that IP, and they factor in running costs and nonsense like that. And so the average IP cost, I'm curious, Let's say you take like Erica Biacco here, who had 25,000 subscribers, 1.5 million video views. If you were parceling up and selling this IP, what price would you ask somebody to pay for this IP? I'm curious. Like I'm very curious as to what people in general, without extra information, think that a model like this would be sold for. Brie, when she was Sherry, fit her so much. I miss, like, Sherry Lupina was another top tier model, and it fit her much better than her Brie. Her Brie model. Honestly, I much prefer her Brie model. I much prefer her Sherry model. It's a real shame she didn't get to keep that model. A real damn shame. We've got HTTN with 10 to 15,000. Din the Lamp with 50k. Lumi with the meme answer. Last of the Mohicans. From a business standpoint, they absolutely should factor the cost of doing business as a whole when it comes to the value of the IP. I hate to be that guy. I do understand. I do understand. IP holds value. It'd be stupid to just sell it at cost. Gilbane's Troy, the IP is worth a lot until the talent leaves, then it's worthless, indeed. So World End Dominator, maybe around 20 to 25,000. So we've got low end 10 to 15k, big company 50,000, and then mid range 20 25k. I can say that there are corporations out there that are in the process of dissolution that are attempting to sell their IPs for a range of $15,000 to $20,000. And they would be in the range of this, like this kind of these kind of numbers. So 15 to 20,000 is the rough amount that, from the evidence that I'm aware of, that's a lot lower than I'd have expected. Do remember that Amano Sarafi, who we talked about earlier, the company tried to sue her or sell her stuff for 150,000. Last of the Mohicans, that actually sounds like a goddamn bargain. Rosa had Azahara. Rosa had 10k subs. Her model cost around 3.4k to 3 to 4,000 a month. They wanted 10k for her to buy back her model. When she agreed, they hiked the price to 13,000. Okay, that is complete shit. Also, there's a difference between the value of Gura or Swayze or Susei's IP versus Mommy Milker's at number 300,403. Blonde. Yeah, there is. I'm not disputing for a second that there is going to be a difference between like a 2 views IP cost and a 3 to 4 views IP cost. V and U were obviously inflating numbers out of spite. Yeah, there's quite a lot of spite in the back rooms right now. But the IP can provide significantly more value over time to the buyer, so it checks out. This is true. I don't really know how to think about it myself. I do think that there are arguments for or against a large buyout. Like, imagine Coco at graduation. I could see Coco on that date easily being worth 200,000 or more. I'd say so too. That's not a bad figure for like Coco Kiryu at graduation. Azahara, if a company is closing, just sell that crap at the cost you invested to make it. If the model cost 5,000, sell it for 5,000 and a 10 to 20% overhead. That's a reasonable way to look at it, because remember, if you don't sell, then you're never, that IP loses all value permanently. Did you see Lucid Multimedia was acquired by someone? Wasn't? Yes, I did actually. I already covered that, I think, on my last TVA and review stream. We did discuss that a little bit. Or did I? I forget. Was it something else? Oh yes, no, I do actually have this in my tabs. I do have this in my tabs. I was thinking about something else. My apologies. Now, let me see. We have done... Let me just do some counting back here so I don't end up doing this the same way over again. Let's move that stuff out. Let's move the Sayu stuff and the Brave Core, the Brave stuff out. What else? The Nevio stuff. We also covered that. Anything else that I can blaze through quickly before we get to the main stuff? Ah, yes, the Iron Mouse incidents are quite interesting that I feel that I could cover. So, on September the 20th, Iron Mouse's main YouTube channel was taken down, and as she says here, I'm shocked that my main YouTube channel has been terminated. Right now I have a legal team working on things. I'm so sorry to inconvenience everyone who enjoys watching my videos. There is some background to this as well. Iron Mouse's VOD channel was taken down by a malicious DMCA actor a few weeks before this, which automatically placed her main channel, if she had associations with it in terms of her back-end details. Because when a channel is deleted by YouTube, your other channels are considered to be ban evasion if they share the same back-end details. So a lot of people speculated that this was the reason that her main YouTube channel was terminated, because her VOD channel had been terminated, and she attempted to get her VOD channel unbanned. However, YouTube said, you are not allowed to have your legal team dispute the strike. In order to dispute the malicious strikes on your channel, you have to dox yourself to the malicious striker. There is no exception allowed. You have to do that. And as somebody else explains here as well, this was a discussion of the channel interdependency stuff. Liminkin said, in response to vSoyboy, there is a possibility the VOD channel being banned now makes the main channel retroactively ban evasion. And as Limkin said, if your channel is terminated, you will get an email explaining the reason. If your YouTube channel is terminated, you are prohibited from circumventing the termination or allowing others to use your channel to bypass their termination by using or creating any other YouTube channels. This applies to all of your existing channels, any new channels you create or acquire, and any channels in which you are repeatedly or prominently featured. In that context, email account equates to a person, equals to all YouTube channels under that email account. If you simply make a separate email account for every single channel you have, then they will not terminate the rest. However, if she frequently collabed with someone, they will have to go through all the videos and delete them as well, or their channels are at risk too. So this was an extremely major thing, a very, very, very major thing. As Arclight just said, she should publish the correspondence between her legal team and YouTube to help smaller channels. I would say there is a 95% chance that YouTube is like, no, do not publish this or we will get rid of you immediately. You're under NDA, shut up. Last of the Mohicans reacts are about to die. Game Perm's autism about to skyrocket. Gigatron 6, I'd wager that V Shoujo threatened to sue YouTube over refusing to let Iron Mouse's counsel make the strikes for her. If I remember correctly, it could qualify as a violation of the USA's 6th Amendment. I have no idea what that is, but I will take your word for it. It's not impossible. I mean, YouTube is vulnerable to suing and so on anyway. Pardon me. What else is there? Also, give me 1 second because I forget I've got another... Sorry, that's other one. Just chatting. The 6th protects a right to counsel at trial. Ah, I see. Okay, that's interesting. Give me just 1 moment to clear my message history. Okay, that's nothing special. We're good. I just don't want to accidentally dox myself on stream. Well, not dox myself, but I mean dox my contact list. That would be unfortunate. We're all good. And I've also got a ping on Discord. That is nothing to do with me. I hate how sometimes Stream Elements just doesn't... the streamer mode just does not block Discords. Guildmage Troy reacts are about to die. Asmongold's channel nuked. White Fox woman devastated. Yeah, the precedent set by this is... Not particularly good. I really wish that people would realize just how vulnerable their lifestyles are when they're big YouTube streamers and big Twitch streamers, because, yeah, if they decide to take away your account, there's very little you can do about it unless you're willing to shell out an awful lot for very rich lawyers or for very high-powered attorneys. Right, we can go back to gaming again. Here we go. Here you go to my tabblers. And fortunately, she did eventually get her channel restored. This was on the 23rd of September, so after 13 days, Iron Mouse very naturally is I'm crying tears of joy, my VOD channel is back. Hopefully, the main channel will be restored soon. Thank you all so much for the incredible love and support during this time. And this was true because very shortly after that, she did indeed get her main channel back again. Crying even more now, the main channel is back. Thank you all so much for all the incredible love and support and advice. This has been a very stressful time, but I'm so happy to be back. I love you guys. Thank you. Let's just read this as well, because it's kind of funny. Why did Lumi manage to convince Amelia Watson to graduate from HoloLive, convince Fruit to release the documents instead of letting the rats die, and convince Nyanners to get pregnant? What did Lumi even gain by causing such chaos in the VTuber community over such a short period of time? What is her end goal? Yes, indeed, there was much sorcerer's laughter going on during that particular graduation. Dim the lamp, alternative media for all VTubers is needed. The trouble is, alternative media except for BitChute. BitChute is where careers go to die. I do like Rumble. Rumble seems to be pretty good. The only problem that I have with Rumble is that when you go to Rumble, there was one instance where I didn't have my ad blocker on when I went to Rumble, and my god, Rumble's ads are terrible. Rumble's ads make YouTube ads look sane and intelligent. It was all... I watched 2 ads in a row because I just couldn't believe the kind of shit that was being shilled to me. It was like a magical formula, a literally magical formula to regrow your teeth. And then it was one of those scams of heat your home with a single device that big tech doesn't want you to know about. Those were the 2 ads I got in Rumble. So, yeah, I don't like that Rumble has blatant... incredibly blatant scams as its main advertising. Granted, like when my mother uses YouTube and she refuses to install an ad blocker, she gets medical scam advertisements on YouTube all the damn time, which, you know, is really depressing, but YouTube also lets those magical devices to heat/cool their house ads. They vet their ads with AI. Ugh. It is a moral obligation to use adblock at this point. Arclight, it's about to get even harder for alternative platforms to start with all the various government regulations about to happen. Guildmage Troy, I like when Rooney, Hime, and Lumi did the sorority skit, and how Lumi didn't bother with Keifabe or changing her model. Yes, there is a lot of funny stuff like that in FaZe Connect, which I do appreciate. Lumi Angler, you have to have a new stream key for every stream for Rumble. Also, we had a VTuber-only stream site, but the funding wasn't there. People want big people to move first, or most VTubers don't multi-stream. Keifabe, 2 syllables, we've been over this. I will pronounce it the way that Kirsha pronounced it. Okay, if my Kamiyoshi pronounces it one way, that is obviously the way that it should be pronounced, and you are all plebeians and disgusting, unfaithful people for not pronouncing it her way. Shut up. Yeah, what Lumi said is a good point, because the reality is that streaming as a whole is not profitable for tech companies and never has been. There was a video from, I think, Economics Matters or some other channel like that, where they said, you know, Twitch has never been profitable, YouTube is supposedly profitable, but only by their own internal standards, and in reality it still kind of loses money. there is never going to be a profitable streamer site. It won't happen, ever. The economics just aren't there. You're never going to be able to do it. Colin474, I think the problem is every alt tech site ends up being full of political content, so it's very hard to have to move a normie fan base who just want to watch video over to them. That is also a problem. Guildbench Troy, your Karayoshi also has a Boston debuff, though. I love my Karayoshi and I love her Boston accent. I want her to whisper soft Boston words into my ear and me be confused by them. Gigademon6, streaming and video hosting sites are lost leaders. They give the owner some other benefit. Yes, they give Google lots of and lots of information on you and so forth. Kamiyoshi love, yes. Kirsha love. Big Whale, the only reason Google and Amazon can sustain it is because they also happen to be the backbone of the internet. It's basically a service at this point. Indeed, that is one of the major issues of it. Amazon and Google can get away with it because they literally own the servers and they don't have to charge themselves money to use their own servers. Lumi Angler, AnyLive is going to die by next summer, betting now. I really hope so, because that scam is just completely absurd and toxic. And I mean, it's great for me, because when AnyLive does collapse, I'm definitely going to go to as many PLs as possible and ask, hey, would you like to talk about your experiences with AnyLive? I'm sure there's going to be some fun stories from that. Arclight, they need Musk/gambling money to survive. I mean, that's Kick, isn't it? Like, Kick is a disgusting website that I will never stream on because Kick is just blatantly, unironically exploitative in every possible capacity. So yeah, I am never going to support Kick in any way possible. Let me go back to my Linkus, my adorable little Linkus. I think, let me just move that as well. One moment, please. Move that out of the way. A couple of one-shots that I'd like to go through here, one of which I found rather funny. This particular one got a lot of flack on the forum. Murray linked this in Discord. Asan_Plotto complaining that Twitch stole her money, effed her mom, and punched her in the face, only to reveal that her Euler gave her the old Turkish subs treatment. Let's look at this on here. Dear Twitch, thank you for ripping 6.9 thousand USD from my August payout and giving me only $121 from it with your poor statements of it being a Saudi Arabian local sub pricing, and gave me every excuse you can pull out of your behind, then proceed to close my case after a month. And this is a screenshot. 26%. What is it with women and not being able to charge their batteries? While I am unable to disclose more details regarding the purchases made by your subscribers, I can confirm that we reviewed your case thoroughly and cannot provide any additional insight to your request outside of what we already provided in the previous responses. As a result, we will be closing the case in this thread. I didn't realize this actually got community noted. What's this one? The post blames Twitch for not paying for gifted subs and has the potential to be misleading at a glance. Someone would have to dig through the comment thread to find out that the subs were gifted from Turkey, a common tactic used to gift a lot of subs for very cheap. Yes, and people on the forum commented on this as well. She has the goal to post a beware-type tweet about the fake Euler in question. I guess this is the next tweet here. I wish I could make this up. What does me asking for my earnings have to do with inaccurate follower account? That's another reason they just threw at me, by the way. Let's have a look at this. Hi, Asan Plotto. Channel stats are something we are constantly working to improve, both in terms of reliability, blah, blah, blah. At the time, however, many statistics may not update immediately, meaning some statistics may show inconsistency or inaccuracy depending on when you view them. I mean, I get that on YouTube all the time. I will have 3 different tabs all monitoring my CCV open on my computer, and all 3 of them will report a different number. It's very irritating. Due to this, we would recommend waiting up to 24 hours. If you are seeing incorrect follow numbers, don't fret. This is just a visual bug and will be fixed over time. It occurs when channels are deleted, suspended, or sometimes name changed. Apologies for any inconvenience. Yeah, and what's the next one? Yeah, this is the one that I just opened. Closing this thread with the latest, most crucial update. Always be aware of who you have in your community. Always trust your gut feeling. And this is a heavy review of it. After careful consideration, it has been brought to my attention from the subs that the subs from Hushio were all Turkish subs, which was something we suspected far beyond a month of battling in emails with Twitch support until they fully confirmed it after my pinned tweet went viral. He was mainly doing it to seek attention. He's provided information about how he had his Apple region set to the wrong region when I showed him the email of Twitch stating that for the past 2 days in August that he gifted in... This person's grammar is terrible. Here's a detailed explanation of how this statement was a complete ripoff. He changed his Apple region... you have to go through triple confirmation process. They can go so far as ID confirmation. When gifting subs on Twitch, you have to fully confirm the person's purchase with the currency used clearly shown and stated. He spammed multiple times as stated and clipped in multiple streams in my subathon that he made multiple 50 gifted purchases. The second I started having Twitch problems in regards to my revenue and payout during those 2 days of August that he gifted in, he completely ignored my messages and did not cooperate, whereas other gifters immediately cooperated and were willing to provide any information needed. Let me have another drink for a second. The account is most likely Turkish, given how you have only 2 options. Either have a Turkish Twitch account to make the purchase or log out, turn on a VPN, then log back in. Regardless of these explanations, you need multiple steps and multiple confirmations for it just to be ruled out as an accident or as the wrong option. He chose to buy subs in the cheapest option, ignoring the whole point in the subathon, just to gain attention and get to the top of the leaderboard, and just enjoy the responses he gets out of it. Not to mention how extremely uncomfortable Shio has made me by forcing himself into my lobbies and into a mod VC. How did he force that? You should just not let him in. I accepted his request to join my Valorant lobby as a way to allow and thank him for giving me such a huge amount of subs. That was a bad idea. He was behaving in a toxic manner, teabagging people, going around to drop skins and switch skins. I felt so uncomfortable on stream that I felt the need to switch games, and even then to ask him to leave the VC and remain... Why did you ask him to leave? Just boot him. Just remove him from the VC yourself. Not to mention the extreme emotional effect this whole situation has left on me. I still have no clue if I will be able to return to streaming again. I will need a long time to be able to recover from this. The whole reason why I started streaming and kept trying to become affiliate was to be able to provide for my family after my father passed away from COVID. We had no income, no way of making money. I worked a full-time job while streaming and studying at that time. And when I hosted this subathon, my main goals were a new PC to make my streaming better and to provide the rest of the income to charity as well as my family for them to not worry about how to survive for the next few months. So for someone to pull something as inhumane as this is absolutely disgusting, and he has no remorse nor sympathy for what he did. If you see Hushio in your community or in your Twitch, immediately report them and ban them. Keeping them away from your community isn't enough. His account needs to be removed from Twitch to avoid him going to new streamers and pulling these kinds of moves. Don't fucking stream for a living if you're starving. Yes, you know what? That deserves a pin. Okay, give me 1 second. Allow me to pin that. Dim the lamp, so if I ask a family member in a poor country to gift subs to Kirsche, it will be cheap to buy 100 subs. Please do not please not scam my Kamiyoshi, thank you. HTTN, I always wondered if you could ruin a 2View's finances for a month by flooding them with ARS gifted members. I mean... This is my question. I don't go on Twitch, so maybe a Twitch streamer in my chat can explain. If somebody buys you subs in a certain currency, and doesn't it just show you how much money you will get if you convert that into USD? Like, if your money is paid out in USD and somebody buys you 100 subs in a currency that is like 1 to 10 value with USD, wouldn't it just on your like payout just convert that to USD and say, hey, you earned like 5 or 10 USD from this 100 sub thing? Why would it say, oh, you've earned like thousands and thousands of dollars from this sub donation, when the currency transaction would be far less than that? I don't understand that. Wouldn't they immediately know? Last the Mohicans, your Twitch dashboard should show you a revenue category. Yeah, I don't really understand this. It's just very odd to me. And that reminds me, I actually need to do something with my PayPal to check if it actually works yet. Let me scroll up a bit. Yeah, Guildmage Troy, the primary service of Google and Amazon isn't even stuff like YouTube or Amazon. Those services are basically advertisement for their data center tech. This is indeed true. Dim the Lamp, Rumble is making new companies and doing ads for them on their own site. That's a way forward. That's reasonably fair. Cecilia, it can take time to update. I've had my earnings say one number and a lower number a day later. Okay, that's just a little bit disturbing. That does not seem to me to be something that Twitch should be lagging behind on. A streamer needs to know how much money they're getting? Yeah, that's kind of stupid. But that was a one-off that I found rather entertaining, and the next one that I would like to go through, if I go to my links tab, is... I already did the Kana and Erica surpasses PL subs. I need to rest my throat for a tiny bit, so I think that this is quite a fun one to go through. This was Mint and what is it with VTubers and inflation? Because this was Mint and Matara.
Like fast food places, like the quote-unquote cheap places have become like...
Yeah.
Not so affordable as they used to be.
Well, I hate to say it, girly. Inflation.
Oh. I didn't know you were into that.
I have never heard you make a joke like that. I love it. Who are you, Freak Phantom? You've been
I've
getting
been this way.
But like lately you've been getting freakier and freakier.
Nah, I think I'm still the same.
I think you're going through puberty.
No!
Maybe you're gonna grow a few inches.
Yeah.
You want to? I thought you liked being small and cute.
No, I hate being small. I used to watch so much America's Next Top Model, and I
smile with your eyes.
smiles, yeah. But I wanted to be tall. I wanted to be tall and like so badly.
And
I
beautiful
wanted to...
and Eastern European.
No.
For anybody wondering, the joke, my flesh woman is Eastern European, so that I'm basically just describing myself.
Yeah, but
Is this why you love me so much? Because I basically am your dream woman.
No, you're far from it.
I really like Mint. I don't watch her myself, but good grief. When you look at these people interacting outside of Niji-sanji, you kind of see just what a kind of situation was in Niji-sanji. It depresses me, bros. It really does. I'm so sad with that Matara had to abandon that lovely Kitsune model. Oh my goodness, that was like Nina's model. Oh, that was peak Kitsune, and she traded it in for a goddamn cockroach. Azihara, looking back, it's like looking at abuse victims. I do agree. I'm so happy that Mint has such a successful career outside of Niji Sanji, and so does Matara, really. Yeah, I subbed after Mint did that concert with FaZe. She's great. She's a very, very sweet VTuber, and she's also tiny, I think. She's another VTuber that is micro-sized. I wonder, Cecilia, how tall are you? I'm curious, because in my experience, there's only two kinds of VTubers. There's either incredibly tall women, or there are the micro-tubers who are like who are 5 feet and under. I think Bree said that she's 4'10". Like, Bree is 4 foot 10 inches, and apparently her mother is 2 inches shorter than she is. HTTN, fluffy tails, gone forever, left to rot in Riku's basement. Cecilia, oh, you know, like 7'8". Lumi is like, oh, I'm 5'0" on a good day. Yeah, microtubing. I definitely like the idea of a VTuber that I can just pick up and carry around with me wherever I go. Like, just grab under the arm, like, not even a bridal carry, just grab around the waist and hoist up and just carry with me. Didn't Empraise on the Discord say that somebody once in school, like high school, like carried her over their shoulder? There are also VTubers who are literal planets, so we don't talk about Hilo here anymore. Like, we've already talked about her. Guildmage Troy, imagine how much Vivi's career would improve if she just left. Isn't she leaving? Or it's Kunai. It's Kunai that is leaving. Don't you carry enough baggage already? I would carry my Kamiyoshi's baggage every day. Yeah, and she's also 6 feet tall. Wow. It was Kunai that left, and hopefully she does very good. Shipmate F, I lost the stream once the highlight, so you'll have to wait for Nelilove to make those. Gitamon 6, Niji-Sanji did a number on her confidence. She thought that nobody would keep watching her after she left the Niji-Sanji. It's Niji's MO to make the talents think they won't make it outside. I can confirm that as well. Niji-Sanji's established rep is to say to everybody, you are nothing without Niji-Sanji. Don't even bother trying to get out of Niji-Sanji. You will be condemned to one view hell. Niji-Sanji is the only company that you'll ever be good in. That is unironically something that they say to you. Like, directly and implicitly, without any ambiguity. And that's why so many Niji-Sanji talents seem to have this massive level of Stockholm Syndrome towards the company, because they have genuinely bought into the nonsense idea that they are only there for Niji-Sanji. That they're there but for the grace of Niji-Sanji go I. Zerstor, legit Niji is a pathetic, abusive husband. Yep. Dim the lamp, your AI images of Kirsha with Azahara, your AI images of Kirsha with them thick thighs are the best. I like thick thighs save lives. Although big breasts are also not exactly undesirable. Zuli, the only one that it's true for is Quinn, aka Kyo. I mean, Quinn, like Kyo Kaneko, his only claim to fame was being being the whitest black person in the entire universe. That was it. He had nothing beyond that. The Kingism, Niji seems to partake in cult tactics, isolate their talents, break their self-worth, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, that's literally what Sayu was said, that's basically what Doki Bird has said, etc. Because again, I mentioned back at the start of the stream how companies often have the attitude of big boobs save moods. I like that one. Claim to flame checks out. He's a bit of a flamer. I mean, he gets flamed a lot. Like his Doppio, Dropsive, and Sayu stream, like where they were just constantly ranking on him all the time, and he was very visibly like not Keifabe getting mad about it, and they were just continuing to rag on him. That was peak. That was one of my favorite Niji-Sanji streams ever, where like Doki Bird and Dropsive just tag team Kyo and leave his self-esteem like the participant of the average Fujoshi's Dojin. He really got raked over the coals in that, and I think it was beautiful. All within the party, nothing without. Ain't that the truth? Why have I got so many ats again? Oh dear. Oh, I see. Somebody has just shared with me a look at their back end. Don't take that out of context. I meant their back end on Twitch, not their literal back end. Okay, that pretty much looks as far as I see. Okay, I'm not going to show it on stream, obviously. Thank you. Thank you to the person who sent it. I almost said your name out loud. I apologize. Oh my, there's something on the Discord that has just caught my attention. Let me just ask somebody a question. Which one? There we go, sorry about that. And Gigadramon 6, when you think of Niji-sanji as functioning like a manipulative narcissist, their actions make perfect sense. I mean, the problem is... did you talk about Gunpei? It seems she was banned today. I've looked in a tiny bit about Gunpei. I don't really have many opinions aside from, yeah, she's kind of peak parasociality. And she's the one that did that thing where she, I think she did a live stream where she wrote the names of all of her top donators or, like, members on a period pad and then wore it during her period. Yeah, it was on the inside, by the way, on the inside. If that doesn't tell you what kind of individual Gunpei is, then yes. Oh, hello, Trini player. I think that's. Zerstor, the worst part is that she's a Filipina. What a surprise. Shipmate F and dozens of P audios and a lot of half-naked and naked selfies. Colin474, but she's not too extreme by VTuber standards. Muffy Graves, yes, that was a thing that she did. There's a picture of it floating around somewhere. If somebody wants to get the picture of her writing on that period pad that she was subsequently going to use, feel free to @Muffy Graves in the Discord with it. As if pad didn't have enough chemicals in them already. What else is there? Ah, yes, speaking of, I thought that this was worth just a little bit of commentary. Why on earth is... Thank you. Copy, please. Thank you. I'm still learning the magic of Excel. Is that we have my dreams. Like, this is... Chat, what we are looking at here is, well... something of, yes. The Philippine ladies are always intense. Akirsha love, indeed. Horny posting on main, shame on you. I'm not horny posting, okay? I'm not. All I'm saying, Akirsha wife, yes, she will be one day. All I'm saying is that, well, I would enjoy being in this picture, shall we say. I will say that like Kiba's design is very cute. I do very much approve of her new design. Apparently she's a furry IRL, which of course means she must have scorn and disgust heaped upon her at every opportunity. But I don't know, the paw glove thing. I do like paw gloves. I think that's really cute. Brings up a picture with Kirsha boobs and instantly has to pause. I'm calling Rin Penrose again. Why are you calling Rin Penrose? What does Rin Penrose have to do with this? Also, is this something that she drew herself? I think it is. Like, her art is really cute. Like, Kiba has a very, very cute art style that I do very much approve of. I want to be on the bottom, dim the lamp. I want to be on the bottom of this picture between the thighs. Okay, let's keep the horny posting just a tiny bit controlled, okay? Only I'm allowed to say that kind of thing. Lonesome Mesa, I was laughing every time Kirsha dead-named Kiba in the last collab. Azihara-chan, she got into that stupid Animal Cat novel comic thing all furries get into. You mean Warrior Cats? I mean, Warrior Cats is objectively terrible. It's one of those... Definitely a furry gateway kind of thing. Personally, I was only into Redwall series when I was young, and Redwall series is genuinely very good, but it's not really furry. It's very... Well, it is about anthropomorphic animals, but it's... Warrior Cats, the evil behind every VTuber. Geekdom 6, Nana's recent rebound really makes me think that she could have left with her IP, but deliberately chose not to. I'm not going to comment on that, really, because there's been enough hay thrown over that, and it seems like Kiba is perfectly happy with the way things are right now, and she's got a cute new model, and she still gets a lot of attention, which is good for her. But anyway, what else am I going to look at right now? Somebody also updated me regarding the Twitch thing. They say, you get a pretty big breakdown of exactly how much you make and where that money comes from. The problem is just a little lower on the page you get your number of subs. It's likely that Plotto equated 10 subs to 10 people paid $5 without the need of currency conversion, of which I am entitled to half, and never actually looked at this number. That is entirely and depressingly possible, so thank you very much for that information, person who I am desperately trying not to name out loud for the sake of their privacy. Look at something that won't make you radical post on stream, please. What are you talking about? I haven't mentioned Kirsch's meat at all. I have not mentioned the Kirsch meat. I have not mentioned the Kirsch meat, all right? I would definitely not make burger patties and call them the Kirsch meat. The trouble is that burger patties and cherries don't really go well together, so... meat Kirsch. No, it's the Kirsch meat. The Schmeat. Kirsch meat. Do you really think that there would be a good recipe that you could make with, like, burger patty meat and cherries? I'm actually curious about that. Let's Google that. Let's Google that right now. Can you cook burger patties and cherries together in any recipes? Cherry hamburgers. Cherry hamburgers PB+P. A sweet and savory and spicy burger made with fresh cherries. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. I do apologize in advance for the light mode. This isn't going to try and pop up anything that'll dox me. No, it isn't. Okay, cherry hamburgers. This is from PB+P Design. Hi everyone, you're going to think one of three things of me. 1, I'm really weird. 2, I'm pretty creative. 3, that girl needs some serious help. I probably need the serious help. Now, I know I was going to post a recipe that I made over the weekend that I loved, but I made this for dinner last night and I just had to share it right away. I really have no patience. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck is that? What did she make? What? It's kind of funny looking. This is my friend's. This person needs an editor. This, my friends, is a cherry hamburger. Yes, I made cherry hamburgers and I'm pretty proud of them. I was unsure at first, but I needed to use up some cherries and I don't need to explain it to you. I love fruit, I love cherries, and I eat them on just about anything. So there. Don't judge me. You are judging me, aren't you? I made these using 96x4 ground beef, seasoning, jalapenos, and some freshly chopped cherries. I topped my burger with my cherry quick jam and some of the balsamic glaze from Trader Joe's. I am so addicted to that glaze. To save on calories, I decided to use a 100-calorie Thomas English muffin for my bun. It worked out perfect. Not too much bread and more meat and sauce. Plus, it really held together and didn't fall apart. I toasted my bun on the grill for some added crispness. You ever notice when you make burgers they always shrink? So I decided to go smaller on the bun to fit the burger. Each burger was 4.6 ounces and has 250 calories including the English muffin. The flavor was wonderful on those burgers, sweet and savory with a kick of heat. With the jalapenos and cherry mixture, it really complemented each other. My cherry jam isn't really sweet, so you're not getting a really sweet burger at all. The balsamic glaze kicked up the flavor a notch. My husband, who I didn't tell that they were cherries and the burgers, really liked them. He ate too, and shush, don't tell anyone, but so did I. I loved this burger, and I'm kind of sad there are no leftovers. Jalapenos, for shame, Proctor, for shame. Look, I have a problem. Oh yeah, Kobe's would love this food hack. This looks actually vile. I like the look of this. I left for a second who made this. If you mix cherries with hot peppers, it could be good. You know what? I'm going to send this to Kirsha, okay? I'm going to ping her on her Discord and tell her about it right now. There we go. The package has been deployed. The package has been deployed. Haljeb, it looks like something that fell out of a Tyranid meteor. Planetary bombardment. Proctor, try not to be a meaty sex pest challenge. Impossible. Colin474. She might interpret that as a threat. Big whale, I showed you my cherry meat. Please respond. Yes. I would love to take Kirsha's buns, and I would love to bake them in an oven at high heat with the cherries. Rave Master J, the only proper response from her would be, close the tabs, you psychopath. Colin474, this is literally the shit we bully Ridicule for. God will judge you. Please be normal. Cecilia, you're a VTuber, okay? You don't get to ask other VTubers to be normal. There's very much pot calling the kettle black here aspect. Rinfriend, I thought you were simping over CC or Fluffin' Fox. Now I miss thinking that. Look, Kirsche is my Kamioshi. She gets first priority of all simping. Anybody else has to deal with the sloppy seconds, okay? Sensoka, Cherry Fox. Oh, hey, Sensoka. Nice to see you in my chat. Cherry Fox. Cherry Burger equals where you get that meat. Zerstora, not even Satan will accept her in hell for that kind of burger. I'm sure God stopped watching long ago. She must feel so glad. Shipmate F, I thought Cece was too much for you, but I think you're too much for Cece. Do you even watch Kirsha? Cece is nowhere on the level of Kirsha. I mean, she's very cute and she's very wonderful, but no, I watch Cece to cool down after a Kirsha stream. Big Whale, whenever a VTuber confides in you about corpo nonsense, I want you to play them that soundbite of other girls have to deal with my sloppy seconds as a show of support. Rinfriend, something in Cecilia shattered right now. Look, Cecilia, okay, this is not that's not a diss on Cecilia, okay? I'm just saying that Cecilia can go a lot harder and will still be fine, okay? Heljeb, start smoking weed and call him gay. He'll leave you alone immediately. Please do not smoke weed. It is not good for you. I mean, Cecilia's side piece. Look, a man can have room enough in his heart for multiple VTubers, alright? I can support multiple people. I wouldn't even eat your cherry meat. MFW, I smoke weed. I can be worse. Yippee, yes. Trust me. That's the thing about VTubing, okay? We're not trying to fix you. We're trying to make you even worse. Let's continue. Oh yes, this is the ingredients list. 16-ounce ground beef, 1/4 cup of cherries, 10 jalapenos. That's quite a lot of jalapenos actually. Half teaspoonful of garlic powder. Oh, I like that. I love garlic. 1/4 teaspoonful of black pepper. Worcester sauce. Okay. This is seriously good. Okay, Worcester sauce. Dijon mustard. Not so much of a fan of Dijon mustard. 1 dash of salt. Did you make this? No, I didn't. However, if it has Worcester sauce on it, Worcester sauce is fantastic. I love Worcester sauce. Very simple instructions. In the bowl, add ground beef, cherries, jalapenos, Dijon mustard, Worcester sauce, and seasonings. Mix until combined. It's a very, very simple recipe. I'll sub to Kirsha if she pronounces Worcester sauce correctly. Imagine not enjoying Dijon. Wash your sister's sauce. Yes, the plebeians call it Worcestershire sauce. Those kind of people should be killed on sight. You should hang them. It is Worcester sauce, okay? True sons of Albion call it Worcester sauce. Haljeb, this man will blow his ass out for an entire week after eating this to get 1% closer to the idea of Kirsha. I actually enjoy quite strong sauces. I have a fairly high tolerance for sauces. Azahara-chan, I love how Brits took a word and added 10 letters that are silent for some reason. That is not how it's spelled at all. I know, but that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, it's pronounced Worcester sauce. You don't pronounce the Shire part. The Shire part is completely silent. It is, like the plebeians say, Worcestershire. That's not how you pronounce it. It is Worcester. Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Exactly. Porian has it right. It's Worcester sauce. Worcester. Do it right. Sounds like French nonsense from you. Guildmage Troy, if I could time you out right now, I would. Do not call me French, thank you. Also, I just realized I need to blow my nose. 1 second. The only place there are no laws in Britain is pronunciation. Apparently phonetics are Yankee sorcery. Indeed, phonetics... I learned it as Worcestershire. Murray. You know what? I'm not even going to respond to that. I am not even going to make any commentary about that. Sorry, 1 second, I just got to ping on Discord. At least I'm not the only one to learn it like that. Colin474, simplified English speakers trying to understand proper English is always amusing. Azahara, pro tip, don't add letters if you are not going to pronounce them. GTFO with that crap. It's English. Like, English is the most complicated language to learn. It's always hilarious listening to non-English speakers trying to comprehend English because it is just such madness. Also, I have just noticed that we have crossed the 3-hour mark, and yeah, I need to get a little bit of sleep, so I probably am going to end stream here because I have something rather important I need to work on tomorrow. We have covered a fair amount of the stuff that I wanted to in my tabs, but there's still some more to go through, and I would say at this point I've covered enough that I can feasibly add in what I didn't on the next TVA in review stream. English is one of the easiest languages despite all the stupid crap when it comes to pronunciation. I mean, look at all of the people in Japan who have like tried for years to look at this and just to look at English and completely failed. Guildbench Troy, you hate the French because you're British. I hate the French because I'm a Texan. That's about half ethnically French. We are not the same. English people be like, Worcestershire is 2 syllables, but then pronounce the H in herb. Yeah, herb. It's herb, okay? It's not silent. I hate it when Americans go herb. Hell's yeah, but I learned English by watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies at 3 a.m. on repeat. It's not that hard. Azihara, I know people who lived in PR for 40 years and still can't pronounce crap properly because they can't understand gendered language. Maureen, to be fair, the Japanese don't even try to learn it. It's true, isn't silent. Yeah, herb. You pronounce it herb. It's not a silent H, okay? I hate it how Americans just go herb. Like right at the back of the throat, they go herb. They pronounce herb. And I'm like, how on earth? Like, it should be herb. At the very most, you say it as herb. The Herbs is my favorite Sims spin-off game. Herb. No, it should be herb. I learned English through reading books and manga. How did you learn English through manga? As a story, yeah, disgust me. They pronounce it when they pronounce it without H. Colin474, that's why the Latinxes should speak in a gender-neutral language. Gendered language is hecking problematic and yikes. Indeed it is. A terribly problematic thing. Englishmen confused by the concept of dialects. You are so valid, Colin474. Yeah. Anyway, I am going to leave this here for tonight, as we have crossed the mythical 3-hour mark, and my throat is most definitely starting to hurt just a bit. I would have gotten a tab or two more done, but I was very much distracted by the cherry hamburgers, which, yeah, I might make those myself sometime, because, yeah, that looks actually pretty nice. It's good night, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. And remember, shill me to all your friends, because then I will be able to get monetized. And most importantly, I will be able to raid other content creators, which will be very, very delightful. It will be very delightful. Where on earth is my live streaming tab so I can actually end stream? Here we go. Never kiss your meat post again. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. You can bet on it. I don't want my friends to know I watch VTubers, though. I'm sorry, you can never get away with it. You never know. Some of them might watch VTubers as well. Shilling you will be social suicide. That's why you should do it. Get rid of your normie friends. Replace them with based friends. Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you all very much for coming. Good night.